And it is time for Mythic Odysseys. So, the fact inspiration question this week is if you, let me see, what does it say? Oh, if you knew this was your last day, I guess last day, period. Um, would you do the same things you're doing now? That seems like a weird way to phrase it. I wonder if it should be like, if you knew this was your last day, what would you do with your last day? That seems better. But anyways, that's the question. Pretty heavy. I feel like Tom Hardy, Oxenfree will ask that question. There we go.
Perfect.
So while you are ruminating on that, does anybody for a point of DM inspiration want to sum up what happened last week on Mythic Odysseys? If you are interested in such things, roll a d20 into chat. Else, I will do my best to try to recall. There was a meeting with some gods and goddesses. There was
Okay.
Fantasy shopping.
I understand, Dom. After this weekend, I'm not sure what happened anywhere, anytime, at all. All right, Julian with a 12. Go once, going twice. Take it away, Julian.
All right. So, previously on Odyssey, I was informed of my father's passing. I investigated his room to see if there was anything amiss, and I found a nightshade flower under his bed. Looked like it had been there for quite some time. And when I reached out to touch it, assuming it was significant, it wilted from its almost pristinely preserved state. I met up with the others after they had been doing what some might say is the most hated part of any adventuring party, shopping for magical items, bartering and going back and forth. And I did promise to give a TED talk of some sort. I'll have to figure out what. But it was part of getting a price break on some items when I did my own very brief magical shopping. We did meet with my aunt to discuss everything that had transpired, what we observed out in the greater world. Learned that my father's passing was a fated event, and I was able to speak with Lady Lutheria, through one of her priestesses when Ohlen accompanied me to a temple. And I was reassured that my father was in Elysium, not in some of the worst places to be. And we are trying to figure out what next steps we are taking. We have loaded up on potions and reagents to make more potions. And at this point, it is late evening. I think we are set to rest and then come up with a plan in the morning, as most of the crew is on liberty at the moment.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and take you want Demon Inspiration, or do you want
I'll take Demon Inspiration.
All right.
If I'm one of those people that believes that you can't have too much Demon Inspiration.
I agree with you. Is anybody interested in answering the facts first question? If so, go ahead and roll a d20. All right, Julian with a 17. Anyone else going once?
Since the die, but I don't know if it actually showed up or not.
Yeah, there's a 9 from Oren. All right, going once, going twice. Sold to Oren at 17. No, sorry, sold to Julian at 17. My bad. I was like reading.
A Steve Harvey moment. No.
Yeah, no, not as bad as it could be.
The glitter's already fallen.
Oh man. Julian, if it was your last day, period, how would you spend it? What would you do?
Well, I'll answer it both ways. So, what I would do with my final day, and then also if I think the original question was if I would do anything differently.
Yeah.
Um, if it was a matter of I was just taken off the board, could no longer help Hop, um, I would spend my last day, most of my last day, trying to put things in place that would give them as many advantages and support as possible before I was removed, reserving the final hour for myself to hopefully spend time with friends and family, carouse a little bit before I shuffle off my mortal coil. If I am not feeling under such obligations, I would spend my last day doing all those things that I find enjoyable. So there would be more carousing, more time spent enjoying the pleasures of the flesh, but also pursuing intellectual pursuits. Um, so just indulging into all those things I have come to enjoy, both the physical as well as the cerebral.
Wonderful. All right. You may ask the same question of any NPC you've met during your Odyssey.
I would like to. Ooh, no, I don't want to ask her. That might be a bit too telling.
The curse
Well,
of
I was
knowledge.
actually going to ask my mother
Oh,
what she
yeah.
might do with her last day, and I don't think I want to know. I would ask what Uncle Vulcan would do with his last day.
Oh, man. Dang. His last day. Poof. I think that he would, yeah, at this point, I think that he would try to make up for lost time. He allowed himself to kind of be absorbed by his grief at the passing of his wife, and threw himself into what he believed was important work, keeping himself constantly busy with legitimate and meaningful excuses to avoid processing his grief. And in taking that tactic to avoid his grief, he was not there for his children as they had to deal with their grief as well. And I think now that his eyes have kind of been open to this truth a bit more, he would try to just give them himself for one last day. If that was the last day he had to give, he would want them to have it. So that's what he would do. All right. So, with all of that out of the way, we resume our adventures in the city of Mitros. Took us a while to get here, but we're finally here. The city of Mitros, the Big Olive. Let's figure out what we're going to do next. All right. So, I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you do next?
Does Orin want to stay at the Temple of Lutheria for a bit, or as soon as Julian's business is done, does he want to move along?
Probably move along.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Okay. At this point, it is rather late at night. I'm assuming everyone is staying at the palace, or Andronicus isn't here this week. but I don't know if Andronicus would have everybody over at his house that he's
He
still
might, yeah, he might take a
dealing
day
with
or
the,
two.
I mean,
the
he
league. Yeah,
just acquired it. He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
got to like.
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll say that he is out and about. So unless you guys set sail this session, he is going to be off dealing with bureaucratic stuff,
Okay.
along with Chandris and Zamrox.
Figured he'd be at a IKEA or something.
Yeah. So they're off doing housing and bureaucratic business, dealing with all of that. So the question then for you guys is, what do you do if you head back to the palace to sleep? What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the next day? What are you doing as you move forward?
Actually, before we head back to the palace,
Uh-huh.
Julian will remember. He'll snap his fingers, pull out the Siren's Roost punch card he's had in his component pouch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll turn to Orin and say, I've got 9 out of punches for a happy ending here. If I pay for one, you could get the freebie if you're in need of release.
Wait, what exactly are you offering here?
When we go to the Siren's Roost, we enjoy ourselves.
Insight check reward.
It's like, yeah.
I mean,
Not
there's
necessarily one another.
There's nothing untoward about sex work in the city of Mitros. It's a legal profession.
How long have you been working on this punch card, Julian?
Oh no! I inherited it with 9 punches in it.
You inherited it. Was this?
No, not from my father. It was gifted to me.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay.
And
So
even
it's
if it
gonna-
was from my father, I mean, he's a full-blooded man. He can do it as he sees fit with his spare time.
No, I wouldn't think less of him. I just didn't see that connection there. Very well. I'll accompany you, but I think I'll sit out I'll let you enjoy your 10th punch.
That's not the point, Orin.
Pun,
The
pun
point
intended.
was-
Pun intended.
The point was for you to, I don't know, cut loose. You're always so stiff.
Ooh.
No, not like that. God damn it. God damn it. No.
You're lucky to see me to bring Sibo to this temple. He'd be all over these. You're really walking into him.
Just.
I don't need to loosen up,
you need
Julian.
to enjoy life. You've come back from the underworld. I mean, isn't there anything that you want to do to just sort of feel alive again now that you're up here?
Working towards our goals is how I feel alive.
All right. Just for the record, it seems far more fun. And we'll just head back to the palace.
All right. So you head back to the palace rather than get your 9th and 10th punch, or your 10th and 11th punch, as it were, taken care of. All right. Does anybody else have any late night business in the city of Mitros?
No business. Siba would have spent the evening on the ship, though, as opposed to in the palace.
Really?
Yeah.
What is your decision for this, if I might ask?
Nessa and I don't know, just being away from the politics and shit.
Okay. So the meeting with the Queen Valens left you feeling like you needed to be apart from all that?
Yes, and still the Julian's father, the comments Julian has made, and thinking about the issues with his father.
I see. All right. Fair enough. Then the night would pass, and
I guess I would probably do one thing. If Sibo's going to be at the ship, I'll probably, if I see that Sibo's leaving, I'll say, "Hey, Sibo, do you think we could probably find somebody at the shipyard who can help us get a tree set up on the ship?"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could track that down.
Okay, so I'll probably go with Sibo and see if there's anything we can do like that. At the,
I mean, that would
but-
certainly be in the morning. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
it's late in the evening. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, the last time we were on water at night in Mitros, I scared some dude and jumped back in the water multiple times. So there's always an adventure, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could track one down for sure.
Yeah, no, that's
This is the city of adventure, so yeah. Man, that's vintage right there.
Julian got
right.
all dressed up because he thought he was going to be able to successfully persuade Orton to go to this Cyrus Roost, but no.
You can go
he got all
without
dressed
me.
up for nothing.
Do you really need me to be there?
No,
So-
it's all right.
Oh, you never punch your 10th by yourself. Is all. It's the rule.
What is that? Is that the rule?
It's the rule.
Now.
It's the old Mitros rule.
Oh God.
I'll,
You, like,
I'll
flip
write
over
that,
the-
I'll write that down. I'll write that down.
You better. You inherited that card. You better check the expiration date on it.
So you return. Oh man, Georgas, he's hanging out too. Everybody's here. This map just is rife with the past. All right, it's like a scrapbook of our early days. All right, you guys settle in for the night, and much to your either relief or regret, nothing overly exciting happens. No one tries to assassinate you in your sleep. No haunting dreams visit you.
Mhm.
In the morning, you wake and begin the process of, in the case of Maya and Sibo, contracting someone to help install a tree
Yep.
on the ship. All right.
Perfect.
There are logistics to it that would need to be taken care of. It cannot be a very tall tree. That might interfere with the mast and the general balance of the ship. But there could certainly be such a thing could be made possible, especially with magic. But a strong structural foundation would, of course, benefit that greatly. It will be very heavy, and so they're going to have to reinforce the deck below wherever the tree is going to be situated, but it is possible. They sort of take it as a challenge to make it work, and you are directed to the urban druids who make the Great Gardens and the Vault of Thylea, sort of part of the city, their home. There they try to temper the growth of Mitros and the expansion of civilization, and teach and lecture and admonish, to make sure that people understand that you must live in harmony with the natural world, or it will literally come to kill you. Yeah, so because there's many historical examples of nature coming to kill you if you mess with it, it's a lot easier for conservationists to do this in a fantasy setting. But yeah, when you go there, the urban druids would recognize Maya, and they know you for your great deeds, for your mysterious upbringing, and by now, the many bards of your crew have sort of spread news to the Sea of Mitros of your exploits, and all are aware that not only are you Maya of the Old Wood, but you're Darien that was now Queen Maya of Themis. And so they would view this as an honor to try and put a tree onto your ship. So
Nice.
they do not charge any money at all for the task, but they do explain that it may take several days to get everything in place.
Okay.
I'm just picturing you guys walking in. They're like, "Oh, great, Maya, Queen of Themis. What can we help you with?" It's like, we're gonna need a tree.
I need a
On the boat. They're like, "Oh, say no more."
If you have categories,
You look at-
extra bark.
I mean, they managed to grow a tree into a bank, so they could probably they could probably get a tree to grow onto your ship. But yeah, it'll take several days for them to kind of shape it and make sure that it doesn't tip your ship over, essentially.
I guess there's plenty of time to help Andronicus move in then. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So if you would like, the next several days can just be a series of downtime events that kind of play out in the city. There is, of course, the 10 a.m. lecture at the Academy for Julian's Tedicus talk, which Sibo and Maya, you would finish your meeting with the druids in time to attend such a thing if you were so inclined. Andronicos is still embroiled in legal battles for his family's estate. And Oren, what do you find yourself getting up to?
That's a good question. So we've been in the city for what, like 2 days now? Day and a half?
Oh, it's only been about a day, and then now you're into the second day.
Dang, okay, a lot of stuff yesterday. I guess in that case, with the major things on his punch list taken care of, like securing provisions for the ship, just shoring up our supplies. Yeah, I guess he'd wake up early when on the second day, and he'd head to, I guess, probably the Temple of the Five, the portion that serves as the like the graveyard for like veterans, I guess. I think we said that was at the Temple of the Five. They've got like a stone wall with names inscribed into it, and he'll just go and I guess he'll spend like the first half of the morning there.
All right. You are, of course, welcome at the temple, though they are a bit wary of you because of your new, well-known allegiances. The clerics and servants of the Five are well aware that there is some tension, obviously, between the twins and the Five. They are more aware than most of the populace that there is an issue. The general vibe in Mitros is that the people still have no real inkling that there is going to be an attack on the city or a big war or anything of the kind. But you do notice, Oren, with your background, that there are less guards in the city than the last time you were here. And there is that sort of absence of guards has not seemed to led to more crime. But if you were to inquire why there are less guards here, you would find that they have been called off to the countryside for military exercises. The rumors are, and this is how people do, that there may be another war with Oresia brewing. Why else would the king and queen be training the army so much?
Yeah, and first thought hearing that, or in like not
during this time of peace, no less, right? During this time of peace, no less.
Yeah, it doesn't like on first thought. Yeah, Oren's like, yeah, war with the Regia, that checks out. But then he thinks twice, realizes that it's probably a ploy of Valis to start getting the defenses of Mitros ready.
Now you do see, disturbingly, that there are still many quote-unquote Dragonlords astride their sort of warped and angry-looking draconic mounts that do, flybys over the city and the coastline and things like that. So their presence is still very much felt here on the island. After your visitation of Yonder, you know that these are the same Dragon Lords that you saw training. Not the exact same, but they wear the same regalia and, the same sort of look and feel as the ones you encountered on Yonder.
Yeah, knowing now what we know about the Fate's influence on the dragons, Oren just kind of looks at the current Dragon Riders with some measure of pity, I guess.
Okay. So I am curious then, what is your lecture about, Julian of Mitros, that you deliver at the Arcane Academy at 10 a.m. today?
Nice.
So it is. I focus primarily on my experiences with Artifice, and it's a little bit about my journey in discovering it and embracing it, but mostly it's about improvisation in the field. So if one is traveling and an artificer or an inventor or a tinker of any sort, how you must make do with what one has if you don't have a proper shop on hand. So just talking about creativity, thinking outside the box when you're trying to make even, mundane things, let alone more involved magical items.
To reflect the quality of this presentation that was delivered in the Theater of the Gods amphitheater to a relatively full crowd, considering the short notice, go ahead and give me either Tinkering Tools Charisma or Performance Charisma.
You know what? Let's do Tinkering Tools. Nope, that's not on the sheet. Why is that not on the sheet? Why did it go away?
There was an update to get this.
Oh, no, what? No way.
There was an update to Foundry. So now all your tools are in the bottom left, under tool proficiencies. And now you can actually check all of your tools, and it will give them to you, which is a nice change of pace. Do you see them in the it's the very bottom left.
Yeah, I'm getting them back.
Oh yeah, I guess as an artificer you got to click a lot of times. So, oh no, they actually have you covered. You click the top where it says artisan tools, it just gives you all of them. Just looking out for those artificers.
Don't forget to grab some musical instruments.
Nobody else does. Somebody's got to. You do also notice in attendance is a dwarf who looks remarkably like your grandfather, but couldn't be him. That'd be crazy.
Could be Vulcan.
Yeah, couldn't be Vulcan. But it is a dwarf who looks almost exactly like him.
So a older bearded dwarf with a monocle.
Yeah. Later, you hear in conversation someone call him Naklov. So it's obviously not Vulcan. They're very good at disguising themselves.
Wasn't Vulcan.
With a
That's
20,
where gets it.
they're all really bad at their names. So for 25, yeah, that's a fantastic. There is a buzz and a just a general uproar of excitement about what this could mean for the future of magic. Many begin to conjecture that perhaps after reaching the mortal limits of magic, the fifth circle, one could then begin to study the sciences to sort of make up for that sort of blockage of power, that inability to take magic further. Perhaps magic is not the only way. Yeah, so that sparks tremendous debates that go on throughout the day, and all other events at the theater have to be canceled and rescheduled, as you know how them Greeks are. Once they start debating, they can't stop. So they just spend the whole day arguing about the merits of artifice versus the pure study of magic, the dangers of the sciences and the benefits thereof associated with those dangers, and on and on and on and on. Once your lecture is over, which I assume was probably about 90 minutes or so, you guys have the rest of the day free. And if at any point you're like, cool, but these are the things that we want to get done and then we want to get back in the boat, that's totally okay too.
So Julian will go back to the ship.
Okay. There are a bunch of urban druids there and a bunch of dock workers and shipwrights, and they are doing construction on the Ultras. For her part, Dianthus looks awkward, like a person getting a full body tattoo. She seems very uncomfortable.
Seeing all this, Julian's like, this is going to wreck my concentration. He's going to do a 180, and he's going to head to the library.
Okay.
And he's going to look up as much research as he can on the wolfsbane flower. Like, what properties do these flowers potentially have? Because he doesn't do biology, botany, but Lutheri said something. You have the tools of science to deal with the guardians of the fates, and so he thinks maybe the flower is significant. Maybe that was a hint from her. So he wants to go and do some research to see if the flower could be used in some way, or other flowers like it, or just like researching, you know, herbal means of trapping or poisoning creatures, I guess.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. All right. Then that would be essentially studying for a recall knowledge, as it were. These particular beings, it would most assuredly fall under Arcana. So we'll assume that you would spend the day doing that. Since you are researching, you can dump money into this to get bonuses to the check at the end of the day. So it really depends how much money you want to spend researching.
Well, I did get a pretty
With the higher the check you get, like the more valuable the information would be.
Okay. So, you know what? This was a pretty nasty hurdle. This may be too much, I don't know, but we're gonna invest 2,000 drachmae in it.
Holy shit. Okay.
Well, actually, real quick before you do that, would you mention this to Sibo before going on your own?
I mean, then you guys could roll with advantage, for
Well,
sure.
I would have done the thing with Maya, but I might have given him direction of where to start looking if that can help with, as opposed, because I'm definitely not going. I'm doing the Maya thing.
If Sibo would have been involved with this process and like been up on board of the ship,
well,
I mean,
so you don't need to spend 2,000 because
okay, I didn't know.
No, sorry.
This is
So,
serious.
Yeah, but I see that you're serious about it. So when you do research as a downtime activity, you have access to the library, which is fine. And then it's essentially 50 gold spent on materials, access to books,
Okay.
Speaking to people, blah blah blah. And then you can then, they say after 1 work week, but we could say that this is like your downtime activity while you're in Mitros. You could then make a recall knowledge check with a +1 bonus per additional 50 gold spent, but they max it out at a +6.
Okay.
Now, if you and Sibo wanted to both work on this project, I would break the rules and allow each of you to spend the time and the money and give you guys a total of +12 to the check.
I'm down.
Julian will definitely grab Sibo.
Yep.
Okay. So that is what you guys are going to do for the next, we'll say, three days. The 3 days that you're waiting for the ship to be done. It's going to be researching the fates. And researching the fates, any known weaknesses, any known methods to deal with their guardians based on what you know of their guardians thus far, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Yep.
All right, that sounds fantastic. We'll come back to that. Maya, what are you doing with the 3 days?
Let me see here. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is if Julian came by and like talked to Sibo and they said like, hey, we're gonna go do some research about the fates, saying that that's gonna be one of the things we're gonna have to do eventually, and seeing how that happened. She knowing that she has such a high dependency on magic, I guess what she would probably do is maybe go to Macalia and maybe bring Corinna and see if we can just try and get Maya to be a little bit more Amazon-y.
Okay. And if you want the time with Macalia, she could kind of teach you, not the full Mage Slayer stuff that Oren knows, but could maybe give you some advice on how best to deal with spellcasters.
Get close and hit them.
Valis would actually be interested in assisting with this if you would have her.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Now, she as a goddess, she would never act against the fates, but if Macalia explained the nature of the training, she would gladly, as a very high level spellcaster, give you kind of the other side of the fence, like like what do you do when your magic fails you? What do you do when you're up against other powerful spellcasters, kind of thing. So we will say that will be your research, is researching techniques for that sort of thing. Okay. And Oren, what do you get up to? Do you want to tag team that with Maya, or do you have something else in mind?
Research. Not really Orange strong suit.
Training though.
Yeah.
So remember, others like just downtime things that you could do. There's always carousing.
Oh my god! No. First, Julian tries to give me the punches.
You wake up in the morning and that punch card is mysteriously on your bedside table.
Oh no! And it's punched for the last punch.
So
it's already punched it.
So there is, I guess technically all of you could carouse, but it might put your research in jeopardy.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say. So there is crafting items. There is doing crime. There's there's gambling. There's gladiatorial fighting.
Hey, Oren, you want to help me with this couch? I need to.
There's relaxation. That's a thing that you could do. You can relax. There's religious service. Definitely need some help down there. They had to, they're trying to restructure that Temple of Lutheria.
I heard some crazy shit happened to them.
Yeah. There's research with the other, many of the others are working on, and there is trying to sell your stuff, but we kind of already handled all that.
Oh yeah.
There's working on training, and then there's just doing some work around the city.
Yeah, I think after spending like probably about 2 hours of the morning at the Temple of the Five, kind of commuting and reorienting, he would then, I guess, head to the Temple of Lutheria to try and not really play a direct role in their restructuring, but more to kind of observe the process and see, kind of keep an eye on things. Make sure they're not setting up more cages in the basement or something, or just.
Okay.
Not really outright suspicion, but just kind of gauging like what the overarching like developing structure of a Lutheria temple is, I guess.
Okay. So religious service then? Is that
Sure.
what we're okay?
Religious service.
All right.
Hey,
so
get brownie points with the new boss. I mean.
All right. So let's see. All right, so you're going to spend 3 days monitoring, auditing, and helping the Temple of Lutheria.
Well, yeah, if they need, like, I don't know, stuff moved or stuff like that. He can't really give input on their religion, but he'll be around as a warm body, I guess.
I see. Well, that has a different meaning in that religion, but...
he'll be around as a...
Okay. All right, let's see. During your time there, normally religious service goes off of intelligence, religion, or charisma persuasion as you administer to the flock. Very quickly, they realize that these are not tasks that you are suited for or trained for.
They ask him for the second sermon from the third book.
So instead, they set you to the task of assisting the faithful in matters that might be more in tune with what you need. There is a woman who seeks safe haven from her spouse, who has been taken in by spirits, and not to say ghosts or anything, but his alcoholism is out of control, and he has become abusive and dangerous, and she is afraid of the man. As a temple, not just of death, but of revelry and of birth, this kind of falls under their wheelhouse. True, the woman could have sought solace with the five, because Valis is, goddess of wisdom, but Mitros herself is the goddess of, hearth and home and civilization. But the woman has come here, and she has been taken in by the priestesses, and they have asked you to go and deal with this man.
Okay. Yeah. Or can do that.
The priestess, she gives you a meaningful look that says, he must be taught the value of wife and family and child. And they reveal to you that the woman is with child, and his actions could jeopardize the child's life.
So we got to clean this guy up. All right. Yeah, I guess.
And
Yeah.
they basically tell you to make sure he cannot harm her.
Oh, easy.
Like, and they
Hmm.
give you that Lutherian look of
Yeah.
The subtext
of-
is lost on Oren, but he goes with the intent to help the guy clean up his act.
okay.
I guess first things first would be to, I mean, figure out the root of what's causing his if there is an underlying cause for why the alcoholism
All
and
right. You
being
get
a
the sense that
deadbeat.
some time spent with him, and an insight check might do it, or
Mhm.
that a charisma investigation amongst his peers would also lead to that information. And you,
I'm gonna
but
do
they
an
do
insight.
think you're the right man for this job. Oh wow. Okay. Oh. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong number. So,
Oh.
when you meet with the man, he is hungover and rather miserable. He works as a mercenary guard down at the docks. He grouses to you when you kind of approach him that about your appearance, which is unusual, and he will roll a fame check. He recognizes you, and he tries his best to sort of like sober up a bit, and says, "I know you. You are Oren, once of Mitros, now the Dreamwalker.
You're correct.
What business do you have here at these docks?"
Word on the street is that you ply your trade protecting these docks in the city of Mitros.
"I do what I can. Were that I not so worthless in the fight." And that's when you notice that he does have sort of a lameness to his left leg.
Yeah, Oren can. Talking to the guy who studies him for a bit, kind of watching his movements, trying to, I guess, look for old wounds or signs of, I guess, sources of pain. I guess.
Mm-hmm. He says, "But you do not answer my question. Just because you are some famous hero now, doesn't mean that I have forgotten the shame that you brought to your company. If I had had a chance to be a soldier, I would not have left in disgrace like you."
Wasn't given much of a choice. Getting into the Centurions. That was my final goal for a long time. Didn't leave it lightly. I was lucky in that I found another purpose with the heroes. But not a day goes by that I don't remember what was lost and my part that I played in it. That's one of the main reasons that I continue to do what I do. What drives you? What motivates you to do what you do? Protect this place.
I have to earn coin. I have a wife. She was my sweetheart. I married her, but my condition made me unfit for military work. But I cannot see myself making sandals or catching fish. These arms were meant to wield a spear and shield, so mercenary work is the best I can do. But her mewling cries, her tender kisses. I wanted to leave the city, ply my trade on the road, but she keeps me here, like a shackle. I am imprisoned by her love. How am I supposed to show the world that I am more than a rejected spear of the great city of Mitros? That I am worth something?
Orange shakes his head at this, says, "You're not a rejected spear, my friend. You are one held in reserve, waiting till the moment that you are needed. Your wife sees this. She tries to make a home for you and her. It would be better," and he'll gesture towards the leg. Says, "It would be better not to dwell on such inefficiencies, and I can, if you're interested, I can look and we can take some time to see what we can do about that."
Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Um,
Now you do know that the hoplites of Mitros are all men and women of fighting age and fighting fit.
yeah, you know,
It's not a,
we get into it.
it's not necessarily about age and gender. It's like if they qualify for service, they do receive a deduction in taxes and a military stipend. But they are responsible for their own armor, weapon, and shield, and they must be ready
Yeah.
to be called about at any time. There are those that are true military that are always in service. But this guy apparently wanted to be more than just a hoplite. He wanted to be part of the military and was kind of rejected.
Yeah, Warren will, when he's talking about this, he's meaning that he might be able to do something about the lame leg, and I guess to emphasize that, he'll reach into his pack and he'll pull out the prosthetic that he still carries. Say, "I've got some experience with such matters." And I guess, yeah, let me roll my persuasion.
He says, "I don't need anything like that or your pity. You yourself made a deal with Lutheria for power. Maybe I should as well." And you see he gets a thoughtful look in his eyes.
"I would never turn you from religious favor, but you should pursue more practical means before turning to higher powers. It's not likely that it is not the best method to, it's not the best to rely on them for such things. Their attention is often divided."
I will give you a word's thought, Dreamwalker. But if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. And he sort of like limps away to continue his patrol.
All right, yeah, we let him simmer, but he'll be back the next day.
Okay, all right. While you are dealing with this, Maya, as you are training with Macalia and Queen Valis, and also with Corinna. Okay. The three of them represent three different aspects of fighting: might, magic, and of course, OP range. So, on the first day of your training, which thing are you trying? Which are you trying to learn about?
So no, just, she's been training with the chakram, so I guess we will go with range first.
Oof! As soon as you say that, Macalia says, "That is your first mistake. The chakram is a superior weapon because it is both range and melee. Did you know that?" Have you forgotten your training already?
Oh, I do know that, but I'm
Hmm.
not the best at close combat.
I see. Why is that? What makes you so afraid? What makes you so ineffective?
Uh, the lack of physical strength.
I see. Physical strength. Now, Maya, are you actually referring to the fact that you don't have good strength or dexterity, or you have a good
I don't.
dexterity? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they're not finesse.
Yeah, right. Okay. So she says to you, if your strength is lacking, why wield a weapon that relies on strength? Why do you feel drawn to this weapon? Why do you feel such an obligation?
My heritage, and it also strengthens my magic.
You must train in a weapon that is right for you. An Amazon is not defined by a chakran. She is defined by her spirit. When those would close close to you in combat, and you find your magic abandoning you, you must look for other ways through. If you do not feel that fighting is the way, look for other ways to support without magic. Is the enemy hard to hit, distract it for your allies? Are your allies suffering? Bring to them healing ointments. Have you gained the attention and the ire of the enemy? Dodge their attacks. Always look for what is within your strength to do, even if it is not your strength. Physical might, it is not always the solution. As she kind of motions to the other two women in the training. And she says, but I apologize. And so Corinna is going to run you through drills. She also feels that if the chakram is causing you issues in combat, you may want to focus on a weapon that is more suited to your natural abilities. Now, as a druid, you do have some weapon restrictions there. Yeah. But, they kind of like walk you through. She just covers the whole deal of like having higher ground so that enemies who want to engage in melee with you are going to struggle to get there. She talks about like the benefits of taking full cover whenever possible, because not only will it make it harder for enemies to hit you, but full cover will prevent sharpshooters from hitting you, for there are some trained with the ranged attacks that can hit you even if only the smallest part of you is visible. And she just sort of walks you through all of those sorts of drills throughout the day. And it is remarkable to you, Maya, that this girl that you met like over a year ago at this point has kind of grown into this this very knowledgeable young woman of like combat and ranged archery, and just generally there's like a lot more confidence there, even than when she was a young kid and the confidence was a lot of bravado. Now there seems to be a lot more like true confidence there.
So there's a bit of proudness as
Mm.
listen to her.
All right. So, the first day, Julian and Sibo are researching. You guys, are you disguising like your research from the academy, or are you making it well known, or Like, what is your approach here? Because this is kind of a sensitive topic. Like, how are you kind of couching it to the academy what you are researching, and if asked, what would your reasons be?
By default, Sibo would be transparent and say exactly what's going on unless Julian stops him.
Julian would
Looking to kill God.
knowing the sensitivity of the subject, going in, Julian would have a conversation with Sibo, saying, "Listen, Sibo, I know that you are painfully blunt sometimes, but in a situation like this, perhaps less is more. We don't need to tell them what we're researching. If anybody asks, we are searching, botany, flowers, whatever. Ways to get you home. I don't know. Just nothing about the fates. I think that would be a bad idea. We don't know what spies are about. We don't know if someone might just be offended and just, generally speaking, give us a hard time about things. We should just keep this to ourselves."
Got it. Check.
All right. So you just kind of couch it as, oh, we're researching different ways people who have been lost and found their way to Thylea have found their way home. Oh, look, sometimes they go to the Fates for help. Oh, how interesting. We've fallen down this rabbit hole of Fates knowledge, as you do when you're researching. Okay.
One does.
Yeah. This is before, Reddit, but essentially, yeah. Okay.
Like 17 wiki articles removed now.
Yeah. Okay. Completely believable cover story. That is fine. All right. So, on the second day, Oren, they ask if you've dealt with this man, if it's safe for his wife to go home.
First things first, on the end of the first day, he would go to Stavros and using his...
Oh, okay.
Not Stavros. Steros, sorry. Sorry, Stavros. You can come too, I guess, but we'll go to... We'll go to...
Stavros puts his hat on and he follows you.
Well, whatever. All right, yeah, we'll give it to well, we're going to Steros, and we're going because with Oren's training and just kind of general expertise as a fighter, and because of his mechanical know thy enemy ability, he should be able to give pretty accurate details of what exactly the injury on this guy's leg is, and possibly wants to see if Steros could whip up some sort of brace that could mitigate some of the issues with it.
All right, so based on your ability, go ahead and give me a medicine check, an intelligence medicine. I will give you advantage because of your fighter ability to kind of gauge your opponent.
All right, let's see. Oh, that's take one off that because I have one less intelligence.
All right, you believe that this is probably from some sort of either nutritional deficiency or perhaps a disease he had when he was younger, but the muscle structure in his left leg just never came in in full. Like it would need strengthening, essentially, like a full-on brace, probably from the thigh and then the knee all the way down to the foot to really give him a better means of mobility.
Yeah, I'll see if Steros can make something like that, and that he's got a couple days to do it.
Done. I mean, Steros definitely can. The guy makes fucking Transformers for fun, so he could definitely do it, and he will make it so that it can adjust as needed, so you would not need to fit it to the man. That's what, based on the measurements that you took in your head of his height, he'll try to get it right. So with that taken care of, it's still gonna be a matter of overcoming the man's pride.
Yeah, exactly. That's where stage 2 of the washed up dock worker.
So that's what you'll do on the second day. All right.
Yeah. So day 2, when I bring the brace kind of thing, Oren. Let's see. Yeah, before leaving the boat, he takes so he gets up, waits for everybody to head out for their day, and Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so his newfound, his arm, which is kind of sustained from his life force and from his new pact with Lutheria that's kind of reformed into his right hand, he takes a bit to just kind of release it and let it sink back into the Nyx and into the surrounding air. So it kind of melts away, just leaving behind the lost limb. And then he'll re-strap on his prosthetic and throw his shield on over his back. He'll take a scrap piece of cloth and cover up his eye of Lutheria, and he'll pull on a cloak, and he'll head back to the dock worker.
Okay.
Grabbing his spear and his shield on the way out.
All right.
Just normal spear. Not gonna show up.
Because of the lack of seasons, the beautiful Mediterranean weather, he's just down at the docks, kind of sort of sadly staring out at the ocean as you approach.
All right. So he'll get up in front of the guy and
he'll turn, see you, and I'm assuming he would recognize you.
Did they give me this guy's name? I forgot.
Yeah, hold on.
Bryanos. Bryanos.
No, it's good. Hold on.
Holios.
I forgot to ask it.
Oleos? Oleos isn't bad. His name is Ermis.
Ermis, alright. Warren beckons to him. It's Ermis.
He looks at you and says, what is this mummery that you bring to me?
You were correct yesterday in that I have made a pact with Lutheria for power. If you think that this means that I've neglected my own training, and if you think that any god would offer you power if you neglect your own, then you're sadly mistaken.
My training? I train every day! And he's gonna roll a check on you. He seems very confident in his words.
I'm glad to hear it. Oren's gonna kind of motion, and he'll take his cloak off, revealing that he's just got the prosthetic and the his eye covered up. He brings his shield off, and he'll begin to strap it onto his arm. And say, "Grab your equipment. Let's have a go."
Nice.
What? What happened to your arm?
I come here as Oren, not the Dreamwalker. I want Ermis, the dock worker. I don't want you making some bid for power with the god when you have so much potential just here in your body.
I have work to do. But I have a break in the afternoon. If you... I will duel you then.
Very well.
Okay.
Seriously? We're not doing phrasing anymore?
Phrasing.
Didn't he say duel?
He said duel, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
I
had-
heard something
No,
else. but okay.
I heard
My
do you
bad.
then as well. No, you're good, Julian. I heard you say
okay.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll believe anything after hearing Ice Cube threaten to mollywop a Ninja Turtle today. So I was like, Seth Rogen, are you just allowed to do whatever you want? Like, man. All right. I guess when Ice-T says it doesn't mean hit you with his dick, but I mean, it's kind of evolved. Anyways,
It's a reach for an insult, that's for sure.
My wife and I shared a look when he dropped it in the movie today, and then one of the impressionable Ninja Turtles started using the phrase, and it was just really bad. So,
yeah.
Downhill from here.
Anyways, yeah. So that afternoon, he does show up, and he has his equipment, and you find that he is a passable warrior. One might even say that he is the stat block of a thug, which, I mean, by 5e standards, ain't no slouch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
5 hit dice, 15 strength, 32 hit points. I mean, they got a multi-attack and pack tactics without
Step
being
aside,
a kobold.
cred. Step aside,
Yeah,
cred. Dude.
I'm just saying, like, he ain't no slouch. So when he beating on his girl, he probably beating her pretty hard. So, yeah. But he does put up a good show. But I mean, you're just fucking, you're level 11.
Yeah, he's not really going.
You also gonna beat this dude at level 2 probably. So
I mean, yeah, he's not going into it with the intention of beating the snot out of him. No, he's just
yeah.
They're sparring back and forth, trading blows. Oren's kind of looking to see whether there's gaps in his defenses, either just from inexperience or from his injury.
No, this man has learned to fight with what he has. Like he has the full unpenalized stats, no movement penalties or anything, of a fully functional 5e thug. Like whatever shortcomings there are, it is likely perceived from his initial rejection when he was younger, and like in the intervening years, he has certainly overcome them, but he himself does not seem to know that.
Let's see. Yes, I guess just this day he'll do the let's go back and forth and do dueling. He'll give comments and pointers here and there, but for the most part he'll leave it at that.
All right. So I would need either from you a performance here, or I would accept an attack roll against him using your charisma.
All right. Let's see.
With I guess the weapon of your choice, which would probably just be a training spear or just a regular, I don't know if you brought your badass like god-killing weapons to fight this guy. Okay.
I left out the. Yeah, he would have just brought basic spear.
The Chimera Trident. You just like fucking turn this dude to ashes. Yeah.
Beat him with your rope snake.
Job done. All right, set this to charisma.
You say you beat him with your rope snake. I do not think that means what you think it
means. I think that's mollywopping.
Mollywopping, exactly. Yeah.
It comes full circle.
I don't know why it's not giving me my proficiency on this. Oh, I guess it is actually.
If you're listening at home and you want to know, it originated in the San Francisco area during the 1980s, and it just means to beat someone very badly in a fight. But
I'm Googling it now.
On the darker side of the internet, it means to hit someone with your penis. So,
E.g. Urban Dictionary.
That is where I'm at, and I regret it.
It ain't that bad. Some people really do it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 22. With your
charisma sphere.
You are able to fight him in a way that he knows that you are his better, but he feels like he did a good job. After the battle, he says, "If only my wife had not left me, I would tell her of this battle I had today, so that I could share my joy at having sparred against a superior opponent. Thank you for this." And he does seem to be full of regret. He says, "I don't suppose I can buy you a drink."
Rather than that, let's go for a walk instead.
Oof. All right. He's going to make a roll against alcoholism. He says, "Perhaps we could drink and walk."
Let's just enjoy the sea breeze.
Okay, he's going to try one more.
Or he'll bring out some rations, just some
He says, "It would have to be a short walk. I have obligations tonight."
Is that so?
Yes.
Do you think you're going to find your strength in the bottom of a bottle?
Oh, damn, dude. Damn. When you say that, he looks away, and he says, "I find myself there more than I'd like."
glad to hear that. 'Cause it means that you're willing to change. Let's go for a walk.
He nods, and you guys take a walk along the docks.
Yep, he'll bring him around the edge. He'll go see how the boat's getting waxed, or getting car washed. He'll take him by
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
So as
deck
you approach the best maintained boat in all of Mitros, owned by a retired guard named Henricus, you do find Henricus lecturing his son, and his son, upon seeing you, recognizes you as a famed hero and friend of Julian of Mitros.
That's me,
so-
friend of Julian of Mitros.
Yeah, so Spencicles, I know he was Spencicus, but Spencicles just sounds better. He approaches you and says, "Hey, do you think Julian's dad was murdered?"
Not at this point, no.
Oh, sorry, you might have forgotten me, Spencicles, famous
No,
psychic detective.
I remember you. Helped with the
Okay.
case.
Oh yeah, that's well. I kind of did the whole thing myself, but you were there and you did a great job.
I definitely remember trouncing through some sewers looking for evidence.
Yeah, I remember that. When I cracked the case, I remember you were one of the guys that was standing there when I announced what happened. Dramatically.
Well, I'm glad we both have had a chance to get reacquainted.
Listen, for a discounted fee, I will lead up the investigation on the murder of his father.
We can talk more on that, but first...
Where are you guys staying? I went down to the boats, but when I asked about him, there was a lot of anger. There was this short girl, and she kicked me in the nuts. And you do see that he has some swelling down there, like a whole bandage situation.
That's probably Kyra. Anyways, we can talk on that, but first, if you have any jobs or anything that you're working on now that maybe we could help you with, we're looking to pass the time. I'm sure you could make use of our services,
Oh, he says, well, I can't pay you.
That's fine.
And when he says that, Henricus hits him in the back of the head because, honestly, they had a very abusive relationship.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. I don't think that it's as nearly as idolized as people want to say it is.
Yeah.
And lectures him about paying people what they're worth. You want people to pay you, you need to pay them. And he gives them this whole lecture. It starts to make the two of you maybe a little uncomfortable. I don't know. But eventually, Magic Head shows up, and Magic Head says that he needs some help. He's got to deliver some medicine on the village outskirts, and it has to be there before morning. And he's actually was going to ask, Henricus if he had any old guard contacts that could be hired on short notice, because he's just scared to go out of town on his own.
Mm-hmm. Do we also hear him ask somebody if they heard about Pluto? Messed up, right?
Well, yeah, but Pluto being just a guy lives in the town.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, so if you're willing to escort him, I mean,
Let's
he'll
get to
pay
it
you
then.
guys.
Turns out
All
Pluto wasn't human; he was a dwarf.
Oh my god.
The key here being...
But he was a dwarf with dwarfism.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people were arguing, is he even a dwarf?
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was real bad.
Oh,
And then there
no.
was there was great debates about it one year. It was terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew I was opening a can of worms coming down here. I fucking knew it.
So yeah, so that's what he talks about the entire way there. On the way there, you get the feeling that this is a relatively safe route, and this guy maybe is just overly cautious. But as luck would have it, 3 terrifying wolves appear, as if from nowhere. One of them winks at you, Orin, and they menace Magic Head.
Oh my god. Or nods to Ernest. Says,
All right.
You're getting paid, aren't you?
Oh man. All right. So the wolves roll performance checks. And they die spectacularly under Ermus's spear and shield. one of them, as it attacks you, it says, "Make it look good," and it like tries to push you to the ground.
Warren will play along. This is
Okay.
isn't exactly what he had in mind, but he knows she can't help but help.
Yeah, she's kind of the worst like that. Yeah, so the wolf is like just literally tearing your throat out. And it's and it says, "You're doing great." And then it gets stabbed through the head by Hermes, who's just covered from head to toe like a fucking Dragon Age character. And he's just
leaving
panting.
footprints.
Yeah, and all three of them are fucking dead. Magic Head is just weeping from the blood and the violence. He's just weeping over his healer's pack. Hermes goes to help you to his feet and says, "What happened there? It got the drop on you."
Yeah, Warren accepts the outstretched hand and says, "Yes, I was must have been keeping an eye too closely on Magic Head here.
Well, quite a fight.
Appreciate the assist.
I thought our lives were in danger, but I guess our warm-up session earlier really got my blood pumping."
You handled yourself perfectly.
All right. So, as you guys are going to leave, he says, "Wait, Mr. Magic Head, is there time for me to take one of the wolf's heads as a trophy?" One of the wolf's eyes opens and looks at you, Oren, like,
Yeah, Warren, he shakes his head, says, "These wolves, look at them. They're not befitting of a trophy. A little bit too scruffy, you know. Wouldn't impress anybody on the wall, I don't think."
Damn. Okay.
Well, no, hold on.
Magic Head says, "Oh, look, we gotta go. I'm going to get this stuff dropped off, and I want to get home."
Warren's he lost a lot of charisma on the islands, alright?
Listen, I
Must
have
be out your damn mind, Warren.
yeah, I have a Scrabble tournament in the morning, and I need my sleep.
Yeah, we don't have time to butcher the wolves, unfortunately.
Okay.
Let's get
All
moving.
right. So you guys go and you make the drop off, and then the return trip is very safe. But Hermes is always on the lookout now. He's in super guard mode. He's basically like a mall cop. He's so fucking
Nice.
vigilant.
Get this guy a segue.
All right. When you finish your journey, Magic Head pays each of you 10 drachmae for your last minute services and for saving his life.
All right. Yeah.
So,
Warren thanks him for the work, and we'll walk back with Hermes to wherever he's staying, staying with him, and then seeing that he makes it back to his house.
He has he and his wife share a quaint home near the bridge in the southern, I don't want to call them slums, but that's not the nicest part of town.
His wife's not there yet, though. She's just staying with the temple.
Oh
right?
yeah, she's staying at the temple, man.
All right, yeah. So he'll bring him back there. There.
So
just making sure he doesn't. And the key being the whole point to keep him away from the alcohol. For a couple days is the goal. Try to wean him off it.
Do you try to get yourself invited in so you can smash all the bottles, or? I mean, I don't know how much experience you have with alcoholics, but especially in a world where people drink wine over water, it's not going to be very easy to keep them away from alcohol.
Yeah, I guess he would see if he could get in there.
Oh wow. Okay. So what's your play? How do you?
He doesn't invite him in. Well, we just stop at the gate and he.
Oh no! I mean, he might invite you in to drink.
Along the way, I guess, Warren would have stopped to pick up some.
Do you ask yourself, what would Julian do?
Yeah.
Julian who solves problems by getting people drunk.
Yes.
Warren pulls out his
Warren
pulls out his phone a friend.
Do you actually want me to chime in on this?
How to get an alcoholic to stop? Need something else to drink. Need to get him away from just drinking in general, honestly.
Have you tried heroin?
Oh my god.
There's a lot of heroin.
Is there in
Like-
Mitros?
Yeah. It's one of the exports of Aregia.
Of course it is.
They themselves don't partake. That'd be crazy. They only use it for medicinal purposes.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Well, I mean, if you've got a shattered leg, I mean, what's better for you, you know?
Physical therapy and group counseling.
Well, I mean, the immediate surgeries.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right,
okay.
that's
See,
right.
More aptly, you know.
I was like, David, what are
morphine.
you advocating here? Like, oh my god.
Kids, don't do hard drugs.
Oh
Fair,
my
fair.
god.
All right,
Disclaimer
so
needed.
as you go to drop him off at his place, he does invite you in for drinks. So you're in this moment. What do? You're on your own, Oren.
Okay.
You aren't on the battlefield. This is a different kind of battlefield.
Oh, it's horrible. All right, yeah, he'll go in. Because rather than drinking, why don't we reminisce? You can tell me some time. I've been away from Mitros for a long time. You can tell me what's been going on. I can tell you some of the journeys that I've been on.
Okay, give me a persuasion.
Fuck. Let's see.
It's like something to drink to.
I might use a fan inspiration on this. Actually, I have my own own inspiration. I will use persuasion. And this guy's a fighter, actually, so he does get a D4 on it.
Ooh, it's good that you did that. All right. You get another D4 on it. Okay, roll.
Yeah,
D4.
because he's it's part of his. It's like an A5E thing that he gets a D4 for influencing other marshals.
Oh wow. Okay, so when you tell him that, he puts the jug of wine back on the shelf, and he gets the clay jug of water instead. And you guys
Yeah, he'll tell
rejuvenate
him,
your thirst, and you enjoy some crisps. Basically, they're just like they're like chips, basically. And then you tell them the story.
All right, he'd go the most impressive martial feats, like the Chimera Queen or.
Oh wow. Okay, you going hard on this. All right. Yeah. So that you talk to him late into the night, but eventually he realizes he does need to get some sleep. And for the first night in a long time, he goes to sleep without the need of getting himself blacked out drunk.
Perfect.
All right.
That's the first step, and then we dump out all his stuff. We replace his all his wine with grape juice.
Okay, is that your play? After he goes to sleep, is you're gonna work on getting all of his wine replaced with grape juice?
Because the first line is getting him to dump it out himself, but the second line is having a backup plan in place in case he doesn't dump it out.
Just picture your patron just chilling on her couch, just watching this on like a crystal screen, just like
the wolves are hanging out next to her.
The one is like its feelings are so hurt because you said it wasn't worth mounting on the wall. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So while that's happening, Maya.
It's the one that sounds like Bobcat Goldthwait though. That's
over at
they know they should have been able to insight, or they know it was just he's bad at lying.
It hurts. You said that about me.
Exactly.
Why these wolves have such low insight? They only need like a passive 9.
So Maya, over at Amazon Boot Camp, day 2, do you want to study martial prowess or do you want to study magical prowess?
I guess we'll continue with Macaulay after what she said. We'll go with
Okay.
martial.
Okay. So Macaulay explains to you that in battle, consumables is the secret to success. Are you facing off against a creature renowned for its grappling skills? Oil of superiness will be required. And she starts running you through all of this, every instance in her career where consumables have saved her life, and how it feels like quite an investment. But what greater investment is there than your future, than your life, than the safety of those you've sworn to protect? She also admires that you are wearing good armor and that you utilize a shield, which is really good. She makes sure that you have holy symbol on the shield, so that that's one less thing to worry about.
My tracham is my holy symbol.
Okay. She says you're going to need to get a holy symbol on every part of your body. Holy symbol on the neck, holy symbol on the wrist, holy symbol on the shield. It's all about hands. You need to have your hands free for as much as possible. This is your flexibility in melee combat.
Martial arts. You need to multi-class into monk.
I was actually thinking about that to take off this armor because it's so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually have one. I would actually have.
I mean,
one
you
more
already
AC.
have the dex and the wisdom. It wouldn't honestly be.
I would have one more AC than what I have with the shield.
Man, yeah, that wouldn't really be a bad choice, honestly. Okay. Does Maya express that to her, or is this possibly
No.
seeds? Is this possibly the seeds of that decision later on?
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
That's a tough call.
It's a tough call. She does not mention it now.
Okay, fair enough.
It's in her. She takes the information in and keeps it inside, but she doesn't make a comment about it.
Okay. So basically, she explains to you that amongst the Amazon people, there are priestesses of battle, and there are those who wish to show their devotion, but that anything can be made a holy symbol through essentially money, but 25 gold pieces for the ritual, essentially, to make it into a holy symbol. And she explains the virtue of like diversification of having that. What if you're disarmed? What if the chakram is stolen? What if the chakram is thrown, doesn't come back to you? What if you're disarmed? What if you're eaten by a monster? You go to 0 in the creature's stomach. You get saved, but everything you were holding is dropped. And now you have to go back into the monster to get your holy symbol back. And she just kind of explains to you that the dependency upon weapons is a fighter's greatest downfall. And she tells you about this famous Amazonian that went full variant human glaive fighter. And then the first fight she was in, that her glaive was taken from her, she was useless. So she explains to you that it's always about adaptability in the field, always having backup plans for your backup plans. It's kind of like getting trained by Batman, it feels like, because it just goes on and on and on, and then it always comes back around with her to consumables. She says, "Do you have a potion of flying on you?"
No.
She just shakes her head, disappointed.
That's an F right there.
Most of the potions I usually hand to the Ohlen and Andronikos and them that are, because they're in melee.
She says, "Yes, but these are things that everyone should have. The threats that you're dealing with, my queen, they are such that each and every one of you needs that sort of flexibility in the field. What if a creature took the little bearded baby, what is his name? Meebo. They took Amiibo and they flew away with him. Like the song I heard, Kira singing, what was it? She melted my heart and my ass cheek. Where the dragon flew off with him. You might have been able to pursue. You might have been able to catch and bind her to the earth. Consumables. All right. So over at the college on your second day, you guys encounter a book. This book, you discover, has been misshelved. It is supposed to be in the restricted section.
Motherfucker.
This is the
section. No, Timo, don't take it to the restricted section. Just let us go through it.
Okay, all right.
This book, you get the sense.
You've been looking for this book for months.
Is dangerous. It is not supposed to be in the general collection of books. Yeah. You guys already looked in the restricted section because of your status as famous heroes and your connections to the university and stuff or the Arcane Academy and all that. Bebo, give me an Julian, give me Arcana checks.
I will use a inspiration.
Okay.
Are we not rolling with advantage, or?
Well, I want each of you to roll to see
Okay.
what your kind of takeaway here is.
I will use Deep Inspiration that I've got.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. You guys rolled high enough to know that the book is obviously dangerous, but not high enough to know why. But
Would
you
me throwing in
you do sense
my
that
Faxpiration help?
I mean, I can't tell you, but if you roll it, I will.
Well, you know what's funny is right before this, Julie and I both used a bonus action to give us cure inspiration.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
Telemachus is like 2 bookshelves over. Like
she's actually around town making terrible choices right now as she processes her grief. Okay.
Oh no.
Telemachus is like 2 shelves over. My friends, I inspire you.
Yes, yeah.
I say that, and the camera cuts to her in Spencicles' bedroom in the garage, in the bedroom above his dad's garage, and she's just staring off into space as he just yammers on in the background.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, so back to you guys. Yeah, give me that Faxpiration.
That's a D or D10.
D10 it now. 10 at 10. Yeah, you are now as confident as Sibo that this book has very valuable information, but it is very dangerous. But neither of you knows just how dangerous or in what way it is dangerous.
How big is it? How big is this book?
It is not as big as you. It's about if anybody remembers what a phone book is.
Oh,
it's kinda,
okay.
Yeah.
We use it to prop the screen door open in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to take this back to the restrictions section. It doesn't go here.
Okay. So you guys don't wanna risk it. You know it's dangerous, so you're just gonna return it.
I start turning around.
Okay. No. We have to dig deeper. We have to get below the surface. A better understanding. I feel like I'm Evie from Bubble with the Book of the Dead.
Now you guys do understand that any book of any sort of value is marked by the library. Like if the books are taken out of the library, alarm spells will go off and things like that. So like you could heist it for sure if you wanted to take it and do it later, but it's obviously probably registered as missing already because it's not in the section it's supposed to be. Or is it? Question mark.
Or is it? Yeah.
All right,
I'll sit down and just start reading it if we're.
Okay.
You just fucking plop down and open that possibly.
If I'm not supposed to take it back,
so you can just read it and then there it is. We have it.
Yeah, memorize it. Yeah.
Yeah, just imprint.
I mean, if it doesn't kill me.
Imagine how tough it'd be if you get some horrible eldritch knowledge in your keen mind where you can't forget anything.
Oh man. Still remember getting my face burned off by acid.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough. That would be pretty rough. Okay, is that the intention then? Do you?
If I can't take it back to the restriction section because Julian doesn't want me to, I mean, we can't. We clearly can't take it out of here. That would be against the rules.
Nice.
All right, if that's the play, Julian, you all right with this? You're not gonna try to stop him?
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. So
what do I need to roll?
All right. So as you open the book, you need to give me an intelligence saving throw, a wisdom saving throw, and a charisma saving throw.
Holy shit. What's funny, by the way, is today Andronicus is sitting right next to me.
Oh my god!
No, all right, no, okay, all right.
You guys, all right.
He comes by the library like, guys, I got this house. What's up with you?
All right.
Intelligent wisdom, and then I'm gonna do another inspiration for charisma because I still have minus.
So far, your brain can handle what it's reading. Your mind remains unshattered, but you do feel the small worm of corruption kind of take seed in your mind. Yeah, but such is the problem with this that it doesn't seem like a problem worth mentioning, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Easy.
Okay. So the book does contain secrets about the world. Secrets that are not meant to be known or discussed.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I love those kind.
Okay. So essentially, your success at the end of this will determine how many additional secrets you may ask in addition to the knowledge you're trying to find about the fates.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And so, the third day. All right. Oren, the third day. Did you stay the night at this dude's house, or?
No, after replacing his wine.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess he would...
Yeah, I just picture you and Georgos at like 3:30 in the fucking morning, and he's like, "But Oren, where are we going with all this grape juice?" Yeah, it's fantastic.
Just don't drop the bag again, Georgos. Can't afford to lose anymore. We need a lot of it. This guy's got a lot of wine, a lot of bottles in here.
So, what's your play for the third day?
All right, so we'd head by Steros to update him the additional info gained from sparring with him, just to better fine tune the prosthetic. Honestly, he's at this point he's not sure if he even needs it, but if anything, he'd probably like say that it seems.
Yeah, well, Steros has it ready. He understood how important it was, and that it was a rush job, so he stayed up all night perfecting it. And Stavros, helped him by essentially modeling it and testing it out.
Perfect. Yeah, he'll say to Steros and Stavros, "I'm not sure if he even really needs it. He doesn't need it physically. He's more than capable enough in the time that I've spent with him, but there's a mental block which he can't get past. So maybe if it's just there as a sort of placebo. But I don't know if I want to give him that when weaning him off another.
When you say that, Steros says, "Placebo. Is not he in the Tower of Praxis?"
I don't know if I want to pull him away from one metaphysical crutch while giving him another one physically. What do you think, Stavros?
Well, Steros is like a little put out that you asked for this thing and then you didn't fucking need it. He knows that you guys don't even use your transformers that he gave you.
Hey, I used it once.
I lost
Maya stole mine.
Maya has used the owl plenty times.
Well, he loves you. He loves you, Queen Maya.
Yeah, Maya stole Oren's, so.
I see. So King Stavros says, what is the source of his doubts?
Doesn't think he's adequate enough for his post. He failed out of entrance exam once. Suppose I could tell him about how many times it took me to pass it. Why doesn't he try again? I don't think he realizes that he's as good as he is at his skill. Just tell him to try again. Like Savage just looking at you like, what kind of idiot like gets rejected once and gives up? Not that you're an idiot, like he just can't get it, like you can see he's judging this man pretty hard, like who gives up after one try kind of deal. I suppose I'll float that to him. All right. Actually, that does give me an idea. Say, Steros, thank you for your input, and Stavros, thank you for your input, and Steros, your work wasn't in vain. I think it could still be of use to him. It could help him with the discomfort of his condition. Yes, just because he learned to compensate doesn't mean it wouldn't help. But then if he has learned to fight with his condition, this may set him back, as he has to adjust to its adjustments to him. Do you understand that? More or less. We'll leave that for day 4, and Oren will turn to leave. Okay. All right. Day 4. Oh, wait, is this
So
day
day
4?
4. It's day 3. It's day 3.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah. He'll say he'll leave that for day 4. So day 3, he's gonna go. He's gonna gather. Wonder if he has any pull or any favors he could call in. No, probably not. Hmm. Try to give him some confidence. Maybe we could bring him to the gladiator arenas. I don't want him to get how aggressive are the gladiator fights in Mitros? Are they like
They're mostly just a lot of like erotic oiled up wrestling in the off season. That's the most popular.
okay?
Yeah.
It's
And
not gonna
then,
help
you
us
know,
too much.
like sporting events, like a lot of like, you know, competitive tasks of skill and speed and things like that. Weightlifting competitions, that kind of thing.
All right, you know what? Yeah, he'll go and he'll
They save the real gruesome shit for like, you know, festivals and, you know, holidays and stuff like that.
he'll go over to Armis's house early and collect him, greet him, and see if he'll come along to the Centurion, like one of their barracks where they're actually doing probably morning exercises and training. And he'll bring him there and say, tell him to.
Well, he has work. He can't like leave his job.
Yeah, it's before that, right? Before like 6 a.m.
Oh, so early. Okay.
Like in like an hour or two before he has to get to work.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because I assume most of the because the soldiers all gotta get to work, so they gotta do their PT in the morning and all
He
that.
tells you he says he has a small clay jug with him, and he says can you try this for me? I think
what
my
have you got
wine
here?
has gone bad.
No, this definitely tastes like wine.
Give me a deception check.
I'll use a fanspiration.
You use inspiration if you need to.
Deception.
Oh shit! All right. He says
He says, but that's besides the point. I thought,
you know, I guess I'll just have water after all. Yeah, and he sets the jug down near just a dude that's just kind of like obviously in need of some wine, and he heads off with you, and you hear behind you says, "This wine is terrible."
Perhaps your taste if refined. And yeah, he'll bring him to the training yards, and
Okay.
I guess he will try to. I guess they'll sit there for a while and watch, and he wants to like let him watch people that have already made.
This is like the Mitros like military training grounds.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, okay.
But they probably just you got like half naked hoplites out like training and.
Oh yeah, I mean,
javelins.
there's definitely some erotic, oiled up nude wrestling going on, because you know, yeah. But there's a lot of drills going on, and overseeing the drills is a blast from the past.
Oh man.
Yes.
All right, he sees you, and he stares hard at you.
Orn'll nod at him.
And then he motions to his second to kind of continue observations. And when his second and entourage go to follow him, he shoos them away, and he boldly strides towards you. And he says, Oren of Mitros.
Commander Gaius, it's good to see you again.
I should say it is good to see you. It has been a long time. And you have been up to many things, I have heard.
Have you?
Yes. And he just stares at you like, I know what you did, kind of thing. He says, I have been away from Mitros for some time, as have you. How interesting that we are both here on this day in this place?
Truly, is a fortuitous event. Here to observe the training, see that want to see that you're bringing the best out of the troops of Mitros. I'm sure that you are.
These troops are the youngest and most untested that the city has to offer. The king and queen, in my absence, have sent our more experienced troops abroad to train.
And how do you find this newest batch?
I find them to be undisciplined. My focus shifted over to the Sidonite troops and our affiliations with the Order. I left the training of the Hoplites to others. I see that perhaps I shouldn't have.
Yes, I would have relished the opportunity to learn from you in person. Fortunately, I had to pick things up my own.
Who is this man with you? And you see that Hermes is kind of diverting his eyes and kind of looking away.
Let's see. How do I want to approach this? From spending time with him, does Hermes also get the, he's a dock worker, so he's probably got some affinity with, like, Sidon. His wife has turned to Lutheria, so he's kind of like your standard issue.
In his house, when you were, dumping out all of his wine and replacing it with grape juice, you got the sense that
perfectly normal thing.
That when you and Georgos were just going through all his personal shit, you guys determined that he and his wife are primarily worshippers of the twins.
Okay. Yeah, he'll say, this is
Hermes. But he did have a shrine to Pythor. He did have a shrine to Pythor.
Nice.
It wasn't as nice as the shrine to Sidon, but he did have one.
This is Hermes, one of the dock workers and mercenaries that helps keep Mitros' commerce running.
He eyes the man, and the man's slight tilt from his diminished leg, and he says, "Why are you at the docks? You have spear and shield. Why are you not here training? Are you a coward?" And at that point, some of the recruits slow down their exercises to eavesdrop. Hermes' face burns red.
Yeah, Warren's watching carefully. Does it seem like what does it seem like Hermes' reaction is? Is it like shirking away or like rising to the challenge?
He seems ashamed of himself.
Let's see.
How did you get to the age that you are at, and yet not get called to service? Mitros, the namesake of this city, the goddess of civilization, teaches that each able-bodied citizen is the protector of their homeland. The docks do not need protecting if the king and queen have called for every spear and shield to train.
Oren's seeing that Hermes is kind of staying out, not rising to the bait, we'll say Hermes here has not neglected his duties in perfecting his skills and honing his body. He has faced more challenges than most, and through service of protecting the docks and Mitros and commerce, keeping things safe there, has been able to earn for himself and provide. But that is not to be his last aspiration. He does indeed, he has indeed set the goal of joining up with the Centurions.
The
Improving.
Centurions! Yet he is not even here in hoplite training. What is your excuse, man? Is it your deficiency of limb? Do you not see the cripple next to you? What great feats he has achieved with what little he had left. None have an excuse when Orn of Mitros has risen so high from so low.
Yeah, all right. Now Warren's watching his reaction, Irmis's reaction, seeing like now is he getting a little.
Irmis's eyes are just bugging out of his fucking head. Like a few days ago, he was trying to drink himself to death.
Yeah, he's been sober for about 2 days now.
Yeah.
All right. Says Ernest doesn't make excuses. I don't think you should. I don't think you should expect one. He's here now, and he's ready. He's ready to train if you'll have him. And Armis look. I want to look at Armis like meaningfully, like.
Armis looks fucking shook. And then Commander Gaius says, "Then what are you waiting for, man? Join the drills." Armis looks at you like you set him up. But not in like a bad way, in like a person realizes there was a surprise party.
Say, Gaius, since I never got the, never had the honor of being trained by you, would you mind if I join today's lessons as well? I will endeavor to learn as much as possible.
Yes, I would like to see you in battle, since I missed you on yonder.
Warren just thinking to himself, like, this guy doesn't know that there's a big-ass turtle that's tag team in for me. Warren just nods, says, yes. I'm sure that a meeting there would have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the best information network, obviously, because, you know, they knew you were on the island, but you didn't know who was on the island, maybe. All right. So, yeah, you spend the day, mostly, I think, helping to train these new recruits. And Irmis is well and beyond any of these young hoplites. And it's very obvious that he is easily ready to serve as a hoplite. Would he pass the Centurion training? Well, if we look at the stat block of a raw
a level 1 fighter,
versus a raw soldier, yes, he would definitely qualify if he were needed to.
Yeah, Oren's intention of staying behind, of course, is to show that, kind of show in earnest that he wasn't really trying to set him up. He wasn't trying to set him up as like a gotcha, now you're in the army. But
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But showing him that he wanted to bring him by here to show him like he's ready, like that. Just to look at the skills of these people that are already in, and let him see that he can make it. Show him that the only deficiency he has is in his mind. And if Oren can, he'll try and get a training session one-on-one with a guy. Well, not one-on-one, but see if he can get a duel with Gaius.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay. Yes, you may use your fighter ability to ask 3 questions about Gaius.
Nice.
And you need to give me either a performance or another attack roll fueled by charisma, as far as kind of impressing Irmis with like, yeah, I'm fighting alongside you, bro. Kind of deal.
Okay. Come on, I should have something for this, dang it. Let's see. We'll just roll it, see what we can get. Charisma Spear.
And this is a social check with another fighter, you can add your D4 to it.
Nice.
Okay, so
we'll
15 is more than enough to impress this basic bitch man. So.
Okay, and then when we fight Gaius, we go all out.
Oh, also, I didn't even throw up the art. There's Irmis, by the way. So.
Nice. All right.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yep, just every man, just every dude. There he is. He's 5'10". He weighs 170 pounds. He has undetermined color skin, just sort of this beautiful,
Bronze.
yeah, bronze. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Brown eyes, brown hair. He could be any man. He could be every man.
He'd be a full 200 if he had a leg.
Oh my god.
Damn. He has a leg. He has a smaller leg. Okay, he has a smaller leg.
Not
So
everyone can live a nutrient-rich
what?
upbringing in Noriande.
Yeah, just full of worms.
All the protein, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man. Steve-O had to eat his younger brother because of the hard winter, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So listen. What are the 3 things you want to know about Commander Gaius?
So let's see.
Per your fighter's abilities.
All right. Let's go. First things first. We'll do armor class. Is it greater or less than 19?
It's greater than 19.
Yeah, it's like a
this dude's strapped with some good fucking gear.
greater.
It's greater than 19, yes.
All right. Fighter class levels greater or less than 11.
You would place this man at probably level, if you had a fighter level equivalent, probably level 16.
Okay. And then let's see. Dexterity could be interesting. Does he have a higher or lower dex than 20?
He has a lower dex than 20.
Okay. Strength fighter.
All right.
I wish this thing gave better specific. But yeah, all right. That's what he gets. But yeah, whenever he
Is
sparred,
he a paladin?
He
He's
is.
a paladin.
He is a paladin.
see, Orin will spar with him. I mean, it's Commander Gaius, so obviously he's probably gonna get beat, but he'll try to hold his own.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that you would definitely put up a good fight with him, but as a single level 11 going up against the CR16, probably.
he whips out the boots on me.
Yeah, so he will roll a charisma attack roll against you.
Oh,
there we go.
Paladin's gonna roll a charisma attack roll, huh?
Yeah, let's see.
What is he, a Hexblade?
All right, so no, you get the sense that you could definitely hold your own against him, and it was really close.
Nice.
Well, okay, give me an insight against DC 23. he's basically doing to you what you did to Ermis, essentially. Oh yeah, oh shit, dude.
I could beat this guy right now.
If it came down to it, you could solo Gaius.
Hell yeah. Or it'll file it away.
Yeah.
Look, they're on the couch just shaking their head, yeah.
The question is was he 16 when there was a mustache thrown on him?
Yes, he was.
Yes, okay.
That's why I was very concerned.
Yes, we were small boys then.
I was very concerned at the time. Yeah. So, all right.
Okay,
cool.
he was beyond 10 feet.
Yeah, there you go. We learned. We learned that day.
We learned quick.
And
yeah.
And then just because Steris brought it up, Orin will send his he'll use his Onyx figurine to send the dog back as a messenger to let one of the see if we can get somebody from the Stormbreaker to cover the shift of Ermis, so he doesn't get docked for being not there.
Beautiful. Okay. So, over at Amazon Training Camp, today is Magic Day.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
Valis says, Maya, of all the most irksome things that I've encountered in my journeys through the plains, my time as a goddess in the service of these people, there are 2 things that vex me even more than my sister, Kira. Do you know what they are?
No, I'm not sure.
The first is anti-magic zones.
Mm-hmm.
Love this.
Even a god can be rendered somewhat powerless in their presence. Some exist as natural phenomenon or permanent anomalies throughout the plains. Others are manufactured by wizards. But some creatures, aberrations that go against the natural order of all things, are able to create them innately. Such creatures might even be in the service of others. She gives you a meaningful look. With your incredible insight and her incredible insight, she's like 100% talking about the Guardians of the Fates.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She says, what a lot of people don't understand is these consumables that Macalia went on at length about. Most of those are also magical in nature. They think that the magic that is being suppressed is only the spells being cast, but it is the items upon which we have come to rely, the same items she disparaged a dependency on in her lecture to you yesterday. But as she did so and then praised the consumables, she did not understand that those too are fueled by magic.
Yeah.
However, there are such natural remedies that can be made and purchased and assembled that exist outside of the dependency of magic. Here in Thylea, magic is drawn from the Nyx. In other worlds, it is something called the weave. I suppose in a way, the loom, the tapestry of fate, is in its own way the weave, woven with threads of magic harvested from the Nyx. If you were to face such creatures, and I imagine perhaps someday you may, she gives you a look that says, aren't I being so coy? I'm telling you stuff without, telling you stuff. Wink, wink. And she says, it is always good to keep on hand. Consumables, and she smiles, looking over at Macalia, who's training with Corinna, that do not rely on anything but themselves to work. While they lack the potency that magic might provide, they can always be depended on to do what they were made to do. In such the same way, you need to become confident in the abilities that you have and that your allies have that do not rely on magic. Play out for yourselves such combats, such encounters, such challenges, and ask yourself, how would you resolve them were magic to never play a part? Do this often, do this enough, and you will begin to see the gaps in your own defenses, areas that you never knew you were lacking, that you could prepare for far in advance. Enemies that rely on anti-magic often find themselves ill-prepared for adversaries who are prepared to deal with them. Does that make sense?
Yes, that was the main reason why I wanted to do this training.
I
As a
see.
form of preparing for it.
Good.
Which has been very fruitful.
I understand that there is a man named Bicycles that you have recruited. I believe he was excommunicated from the Arcane Academy for his radical ideas and beliefs in the sciences. You may take this opportunity to encourage that line of studies. Perhaps he could bear fruitful inventions that could help you against this potential pitfall.
Okay.
The other thing that you should be cautious of, and my second most vexing thing, is the god's damned counterspell. There is nothing more embarrassing than being counterspelled by an enemy, especially if that enemy is immortal. For that,
Julian.
Yes?
I've seen Julian use it many times.
Yes. His mother is a big fan of such a thing. She said, I would never repeat the words, but it was a vulgarity about making personal waste down someone's throat is the equivalent of a good counterspell. For that reason, you must always be wary of your placement on the battlefield. And then she proceeds to tell you things that I assume Dom would know about counterspelling. 65 feet distance.
Ready to spell and then come out of cover.
Blinding them. Yeah, running to full cover to cast spells if you can get away with it. Having bullshit consumables on hand, like low-level scrolls and stuff that don't matter, to try to like coax out a counterspell. You know, things like that. But with her explaining it, you feel that Maya is now more empowered to use Dom the player's meta knowledge of best counterspelling techniques, kind of thing. For sure. And you get the sense that she really doesn't like counterspells. Like if there was a petition for gods to sign to get rid of counterspells, she probably would have signed it.
Cleric doesn't like counterspells, you know, who would have thought?
Yeah, she proposes a system where you can attempt to counteract other people's magic, but it still requires a great deal of skill and effort and sacrifice to successfully pull it off. And then she goes on to tell you about Pathfinder 2e, her system of D&D. If Valis
got a group going.
If Valis was allowed to design a role-playing game, it would definitely
have you heard the good word?
Yeah. So.
Oh,
I think that's actually perfect. If Valis designed a tabletop game, it would be Pathfinder 2e. If Kyra designed one, it would for sure be 5th edition D&D. But Kyra, how do we do this? I don't know. Make it up.
The Theros would be Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. You never win. You just get to enjoy your suffering until the end. Yeah. As it was meant to be. All right. Fair enough. So. Any specific questions for her? Otherwise, she just lectures you at length about those particular topics.
No.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Okay. So back at the university, on your third day of research, there's nothing out of the ordinary that occurs. Do you return the book or do you keep the book?
Keep.
You keep it?
Keep, yep.
All right. Okay. So.
Are you entirely sure that's wise, Sibo? I mean, you've got it memorized. Do we need to keep the book for reference? We can't just take the knowledge.
Sibo looks down his front and turns around and looks behind him and says, "Do I look like Maya to you?"
No, you're Sibo.
Then wise isn't the thing I'm gonna do.
Before we started, you all came and putting it back where it belonged, and now you want to take it out of the library.
There's a lot of good things in here. I mean, I don't have time to read it all.
Okay.
I mean, Sibo, you feel that with the absence of your patron, I mean, maybe, like, the knowledge in this book could fill in the gaps of the teaching that she was unable to give you.
There's a lot of holes that can be filled with this book. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys complete your 3 days of research, each of you drops 350 drachmae, 50 for access to the library and its restricted books, and then another 300 each to pump those bonuses up to a fucking +6, so +12 total. which of you is going to roll the Arcana check with advantage and add a +12 to it?
I believe it's me.
Okay.
I'm doing it, and
I believe it's Sibo as well.
Okay, all right.
All right. All right.
Okay. Also, while I'm rolling that, I say, and he didn't want the 10th punch in the card?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
know, right?
Getting off
Alright.
topic here with this research. I don't know if you should have a knock it down into a +11, sounds like.
This is when we're on break.
Okay. Pretty long break.
All right. So with your +12, and your very high normal bonus and advantage, you still only managed to learn 3 pieces of lore about the Fates, and then 1 piece of restricted lore about the world. So you guys can decide what those are going to be while we go in and check in on Orin.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
All right, Orin. At the end of the 3rd day, Gaius says, approaches the man, Ermis, and says, I have been told that you fought well. You are wasted guarding the docks, and you are far too skilled to be a novice hoplite. I would ask that you make preparations to join the more experienced hoplites in the countryside. There is apparently a war on the horizon. The city will need protecting. He just looks stunned. And then Gaius says, things are too hectic for you to join up with the Centurions, but every journey begins with those first steps. I hope you remember that when walking a path, if you stumble, you get up and you keep walking. And Ermis nods and salutes, and then kind of heads to, leave, but you see him waiting by the gate for you, Orin.
Yeah, Warren, let's see. Gwenda Gaius, thank you for your time today. I appreciate your expertise and your discerning eyes.
Orin of Mitros, might I ask you a question?
Or not.
What is it that you and your allies hope to achieve? This is a world in peril. Do you not understand that?
I think we're both looking for the same thing. Stability for Thylea. We might disagree on how to get it. I have hope
you go against the gods.
Not against all of the gods.
He looks at his, symbol of Sidon emblazoned on his toga and his shield, and he says, Sidon has protected this city, lent it its strength. He has delivered calm winds, good rains. The prosperity of the city owes much to him. For 5 centuries, we have paid him tribute, and he, in turn, has shown his benevolence to us. I am a proud member of his order. The Order of Sidon shows a unification of the old and the new. And with the arrival of King Acastus' dragons, we revive the Dragonlord Order of old, and it becomes something greater than it was before. No longer opposed to the gods, but in service to them. But you and your companions, you undermine all of this. Why?
You speak of Sidon's benevolence, and yet you overlook the many instances where his overreach and lust for power have done the exact opposite of promote the peace and prosperity that you're seeking.
Now as you address me, is it as Oren of Mitros, son of the city? Or is it as Lutheria's champion?
I address you as a friend of the city and as a champion of a god.
Why would Lady Lutheria support you if you oppose her husband?
I cannot hope to glean insight into the lady's intentions or plans. I'll leave that to others and simply do my part.
Oh man, when you say that, you know that he kind of respects that. Like the whole, like, I'm just going to do what I'm told to do. Quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Oren kind of gets the vibe that, I mean, he's running his insight, but he gets kind of the vibe that Gaius is a true believer, and were things different, maybe he wouldn't be an adversary, to be honest.
All right. Gaius says, you, like your lady, are a mystery. But you did a good thing by that man today. I will remember that.
You and I both hate to see potential go to waste.
All right. He is called away by people, and he nods to you, and he heads away.
Yeah, Oren nods and goes to find Ermis.
Okay. Ermis is overwhelmed, but now he's kind of crying a little bit, and he says, if only I had not driven her away, I could show my wife, I could tell her that I am enough. I am going to make her proud of me. I am going to honor our family and the memory of my father.
Yes, you've been set on a path now. I think... So, sorry, OOC, he's being basically sent to training outside the city. How far outside the city are they going?
His division is going to be up near the Autumn Tower.
How long would you expect him to be gone?
He's gonna be gone for weeks.
Okay. He'll say, I think for now you should make preparations, and you should think about what you want your life to look like the next year, 2 years, or 5 years. And perhaps when you have developed a plan, you'll be better equipped to reunite with her.
Yeah, okay.
And now, after dropping Ernest off to his house, doesn't know how much he wants to get involved with the actual relationship dynamics, 'cause it's not really his area of expertise.
Right, right.
Yeah,
so when you return, the priestess says, how goes your mission for the faith?
I don't think he'll be sucking down a bottle for a good long time. He's got other priorities now. He'll be leaving the city for several weeks to find new use of his skills and honest living. Do you think that you could inform his wife of this? And I know that she might not be in a state where she wants to meet him now, but perhaps let him know that he's working towards something better, and give her the option of if she wants to wait and see what results of him, or if she wants to speak with him now. He leaves soon. I will leave it.
You believe that he is no longer a danger to the woman? Yeah, I always forget that Lutheria priestesses are like goth dominatrix nuns, but yeah.
I'll throw an insight out,
forget
but
to check so many boxes.
Yeah, right.
Punch so many tickets.
Orn will throw out that insight, but I think the vibe that he gets is that Ermis he's got these violent tendencies and things that seem like they probably stem from a lack of direction and then the alcoholism doesn't help. So if those two have relatively been mixed.
Well, you know that during training, your hoplites are, kind of responsible for their own food and drink kind of thing, but that they do not tolerate any sort of disorderly conduct. So.
Yeah. He's
also,
hoping.
Historically, hoplites were actually responsible for their own food and water. It was one of the weaknesses of the of Greek armies, is that they didn't have like regimented like food, and like it was all kind of like, here's your school supply list, everybody.
Oh no, everybody was blowing it all on meat and feta cheese and.
Right, yeah. So you had these young men that were like, what do I need to survive? It's,
it's like
5 bags of Cheetos. Yeah,
it's like, the Greek equivalent of ramen noodles and Mountain Dew.
Yeah. But still, their superior officers would be like, would not tolerate any sort of drunkenness and things like that. He's gonna be up there in those mountains. He's gonna be training his ass off.
Oh yeah.
And you as a former soldier know that for most people that are wildly undisciplined and unfocused, the military is the solution.
Yeah, he'll say, if you're looking for my input, I don't think she should meet with him before he leaves. She should just be informed of his progress, and she should let the results speak for themselves. I'm confident that they will, but I think he needs time, and I'm sure she needs time as well.
Then can she return to the home after he leaves?
I don't see an issue with that. He'll be out for some time, and I'll have his I'll let him know to write back regularly. She can choose to read the letters or not.
Excellent. You have taken an unpredicted approach to this issue.
Wait,
I am sure.
This isn't what you had in mind.
I am sure it pleases Lady Lutheria.
Orn's confused on that. He's like, it's the obvious approach to take. What do you mean?
All right. Based on your outcome of your religious service, you may make one more either charisma attack roll or an intelligence religion check.
Wow. We're gonna do the charisma attack roll.
Okay.
Every time scrolling through my stuff, like, how come I don't have anything that helps my charisma, really? Alright, let's throw it out there.
Well, the idea of a team is that you guys fill in the gaps for each other. But when you're off doing your own thing,
yeah, but I got like seven.
That's when you get an appreciation for being a part of a team.
That's why we keep dueling around.
Ow! I mean, you could have lied and been like, well, that does
Oh,
the
wait.
books, but no, just
Okay.
like he can talk. He's a motor mouth.
Can't do a
All right,
D4 on there.
She is not a warrior. Or a fighter. She's a priestess.
Yeah, this is. I've been working with the fighters a lot, you know.
That's why you got to roll an attack roll.
All
right. So, despite all of your hard work,
it sucks. I could re-roll it.
you've earned one favor. Oh, okay. You want to re-roll? All right.
Wait. No.
What? Are you sure? Okay.
I'll re-roll it.
Okay. You gotta keep the new roll.
All right. Let's see.
Oof. Oof. Well, what I meant to say was you have impressed them with your efforts. The end.
Yeah, that's good enough for Warren.
All right, fair enough.
Nice.
Okay. Maya, with your training here with these people, you may display to each of your instructors what you have learned by bullshitting each check that you make and how it would apply to the lessons that each teacher taught you.
Okay. All right. For I guess we'll go in order. For Corinna teaching, talking about getting into cover and making sure that I stay a good distance away and things like that. I guess maybe I'll try and do a Okay, would you a wisdom acrobatics check?
A wisdom acrobatics check?
Yeah,
Wow.
so like the idea is about I from what she's told me, the idea of being able to quickly get into cover when I realize that a certain issue is happening.
And being able to identify and spot that cover.
Spot danger and then get into cover.
Okay. All right. I will accept a wisdom acrobatics check to impress Corinna.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Hold on. All right. Wisdom. Oh, I think I might have rolled it twice.
We rolled a performance initially.
Okay, hold on. There it goes.
Okay. Oh yeah. So 19 is good. It's good. And Corinna is flattered that you paid attention to her lessons.
Okay. All right. For Macaulay, talking about consumables. I guess maybe a medicine check to talk about how to administer them and drink them and making sure my hands are free to use them properly.
Okay. Oh man. It seems that despite being her queen, she feels that you have not grasped the importance of consumables. or taken her lessons as seriously as they should have been taken.
All right. Okay, and then for Valis, um, maybe a nature check to look at. Okay, looking for different ways of making consumables that aren't reliant on magic.
Okay.
All right, so here would be a nature.
Okay. Valis is impressed that you understood her lessons and have taken them to heart. Okay. You receive an inspiration from Valis. That inspiration must be used in relation to anti-magic or counterspells.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So
It does not count against your normal inspirations.
Okay,
So you
I'll
could have
add that as a
3
specific.
inspirations and still have this Valis magic related inspiration off to the side.
He hates counterspell that much.
Yep.
He's willing to break.
So each of them was a DC 20, and each one that you got, you would have gotten an inspiration specific to that topic, essentially.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So over at the college.
Oh yeah.
What are the 3 questions and the 4th bonus question that you were going to ask?
Wait, so again, he didn't want the 10th punch on the card? I don't. All right,
I
so
know. I mean, we could go there right after we get done here. Just totally unwind.
just get done. Yeah, right.
16.
I'm down. I'm down.
All right.
All right. So question number 1 is All right. Find out. Since he's kind of running, Siba would immediately start trying to look for what did they do with Versi. Right? She's not gone because he still has his magic and he can still do the things that she gave him, but he can't contact her. So he's going to look for something that can maybe explain what that is, where she's at, and how he can maybe get her back or figure that out.
Right. Okay. Let's see. All right. So the answer to that question is likely a type of magic called soul trapping.
Soul trapping. Okay.
Essentially, powerful beings know that death is too easy to evade. So, if you truly want to deal with an enemy, you trap their soul, which essentially removes them from the playing field.
Okay.
Generally, that soul is kept in a gemstone or other crystal, or in some cases a clay pot or a vase. Unfortunately, souls must be stored in very fragile containers. No one knows why, but generally, the more powerful the soul, the more fragile the container.
Oh, interesting.
If the container is found and it is destroyed, the soul is freed. But while the soul is trapped, it cannot be reached, it cannot be communicated with, it cannot be put back into a body. Even the goddess Lutheria would not be able to do anything about it, which would be very vexing to her.
Right. Okay.
It represents to her stealing from her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Such magics are never performed by mortals because you must be able to command power at the 6th level of magic or higher. See also Magic Jar, the spell.
Magic Jar. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2 then. Julian and Sibo would be looking for anything we could use as vulnerabilities, be it energy, be it magic, be it internal conflicts, be it anti-fate weapons. Since we have anti-giant and anti-titan, we assume that there could be maybe that.
Gotcha. So the 3 fates Nuna, Decima, and Granny Morta. They are all seeing, but as a consequence of being all seeing, they see all, but they are blind because of that.
Yeah.
To overcome this blindness, they crafted for themselves a eye with which they can see things that are near them. But they share the eye amongst the three of them. Thinking back to, your encounter with them, you do recall
That eye, yeah.
that there's a hollow socket, cyclopean eye socket on each of the fates, and that there was an eye light that would sort of disappear from one and appear on the other. Whether or not the eye is magical or it is an actual physical item, or perhaps a little bit of both, is unknown. But as spellcasters, you guys know that being unable to see your target in the 5th Age of Magic is one of the worst things ever for a spellcaster.
Oh, every fucking fight. Oh my
Right.
god, yeah.
So it is likely that they can compensate for this with their strong physical might, but that only one of them would be able to see to target with spells at a time, and should you find a way to neutralize that eye, that would render all three of them blind. That would be their greatest, I don't want to say known weakness, but hypothesized weakness.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously they're vulnerable to fire. That's what I heard you say as well.
No, they actually, you saw no indication that they were vulnerable to any type of damage.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But nor did you see that they were listed as being
Resistant.
immune.
Immune, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Come on, dude. This is their magic. Everybody's got a couple of resistances.
That's what I meant. I meant immune.
Yeah.
Hermit's
Okay,
probably
so
has 2 or 3 resistances.
They are for sure all resistant to magic in general.
right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
okay.
you think that their greatest weakness would probably be blinding them.
Okay. We have a third, but I wanted to ask. We would have had time to go to speak with everybody before coming back the third day, correct?
I would assume that if you guys made arrangements, each night, except for the night that Oren was replacing wine with grape juice, you guys would have been able to meet up. Probably at Andronicos' sweet new house.
Okay.
As he's preparing it for the housewarming party.
Yeah,
okay,
Oren's walking in with Georgos. They've got like 6 or 7 big jugs of wine.
Yes.
Look, we got you set up good. Real nice, Andronicus. Here you go.
Housewarming party.
Oren, that's quite a housewarming gift. Allow me to take that off your hands.
Sibo and Julian would then have asked Oren and Maya and Andronicus if they had anything particular that they wanted us to look for. We do have a third question, but I wanted to offer that slot to a conversation we might have had.
Pertaining to the fates, right?
Yep.
What were the restrictions on the question?
Well, do you two make the rest of them aware of the any one question?
Nope.
Caveat? Oh, okay, fair enough.
Wait. What's the anyone question caveat? Just to make sure.
That's coming from the book that you.
The restricted knowledge.
The restricted. Nope.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
I don't even let Julian know that.
Oh dang. Okay. So what is the So you guys have one question about the fates you could ask.
You got anything?
I'm thinking.
I do have a question. So with Julian and I did talk about. We do have a third question. So if there's nothing, we can ask a question. But I wanted to offer it up.
I don't think I really have anything. I guess.
And then I don't know, Maya, learning what you would learn from your training trio. Is there anything extra about like the anti-magic stuff that I don't know? Yeah, I was just.
Well, there's a couple stuff that we kind of figured out when we were there. Like it seemed like the anti-magic was coming from the Guardian's mouth.
Yep.
like if they were open. So I already have that. I don't know if we could maybe use this to confirm it, but I don't know if I want to waste it on that.
Right.
Uh, about the fates, I kind of want to know like if there's any like idea of how they are corrupted. How could they be corrupted?
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That could just be magic. I don't know.
yeah. Well, that kind of aligns with we were going to ask an agenda question. What's their agenda? Where did their agenda come from? That could align with that if it's worded correctly, or I guess.
I mean, we know. I don't know. Well, that's up to Crash to see how that answers. But I don't know if we'll find out anything new from them about agenda that isn't like the common knowledge. But hey, maybe we will.
Right.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Either their agenda or how they're corrupted. But I don't know how would we get that from the
Get that? Yeah, with the book.
So, yeah.
Well, it's a history book, right? I mean, obviously, it's a history book. Okay, then I think that we'll do what is, I guess, a combo of those. What happened?
Well, research
to
is not just the finding of knowledge, but then the using
analysis
that
and
right analysis, and then building theories from that knowledge. So,
and then quantifying it or proving it or disproving it. So my question would then be, I like where that starts. How did the corruption come about, and has it created any hidden or secret or unusual agendas beyond just managing fate? And if there's any way to quantify that,
the recurring theme that you find in your research is that all things are fallible and that nothing lasts forever. And that the fates, in their long service, faltered. That it is just an unfortunate thing. That if you had a ship and you never repaired it, it would eventually sink. If you had a child that you never fed, they would not grow up to an adult. They would die. And so on and so forth. Your best guess is that they were left unmanaged, unattended, and to their own devices. And in time, they lost their way. Is there an agenda? They are godlike beings. It is hard for a mortal to grasp at what would motivate them. But in your time with them, in your interactions with them, and in the stories you read of their cruelties, they seem to delight in the suffering of those who would be desperate enough to seek them out for aid. They seem to delight in their ability to corrupt others and spread their corruption to others through this sort of abuse of trust and this manipulation of needs.
Yeah.
So if you were looking for a motive, it just seems to be to spread their corruption to others, to see others fall as they have fallen.
Nice. Okay.
Yep. All right. So then you have one secret question. Do you want to secretly ask me, or do you want to?
I want to ask you in front of everyone so they know what I'm asking, but then I want you to tell me in secret.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, just to be that kind of a dick. Yeah.
All right. So what is the question that you are going to ask based on what you read in that book that threatened your soul, your sanity, and your sense of self?
The Titans that went missing.
Mm-hmm.
and then names have been reproduced and where the fuck did they go?
We already know where the Titans went, right?
Yeah,
Do
we know
we?
where each of them are.
Yeah.
Do we?
Well,
Yeah, you have a hit list of. I think you've
of
been.
locations.
Yeah, you've been yashing us too
Uh,
much, bro. You've been yashing
No,
us.
no, 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 no. But we know the names have been reused from.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, we know, just off the top of my head, I know Halcyon's in the volcano, Talos is dragging along, Lutheria's party boat, somebody's
The two
holding
of
up
them
the
are
Tower of
on the
Praxis. The guy one of them's holding up the Tower of Praxis.
but wasn't there a
Yeah.
Yala and then there's this other Yala?
yeah, because we know that there was a Yala, that was
Where-
one of their sisters, and
Where's that first Yala?
in on the island in the Nether Seas.
Yeah, I think
Trapped on the island in Nether Seas.
Yeah, I think most of them are on the Isle of Oathbreakers. Like 3 or 4 of them are on there, I think.
All right, then fine. Where the fuck did the 5 come from, and how does it relate to the day that the dragons went away?
No, oh boy. Oh,
Okay. All right.
oh,
my
my goodness.
Hop into secret chat.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Oh my god.
All of you guys
Oh.
leave chat. You guys can't be in my stream. Not in my stream. It's okay.
oh dang. Ooh.
Quick pull up Sivo's stream.
I have it pulled up, but it's muted. I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to know that.
I pushed the little man too far. Oh well.
I'm wondering if it was a great old one patron in there.
Probably.
And too bad you can't multi-class into the same class though, and take a different subclass.
No, that'd be pretty good if you
No.
could, though.
I mean, hey, Fighter's kind of doing it right now, so in the world patch document.
Yeah. You could also. You multi-class like.
Now, if in the final battle we run into a side knight that says that has token mold name lame, it's gonna be Imran. I mean, Ernest.
Oh yeah, well, maybe.
Oh boy.
He's giving
Ernest, why would you do this? I heard it from you, Aaron! Oh shit, this is taking a while.
Yeah, it'll be.
I mean, it's a big question. So yeah, I was thinking of multi-classing into monk, just one level, just to get to the unarmed.
You could do it.
But I also don't want to lose out on more higher level spells. I don't know what level this campaign takes us to. Well, it takes us to 20, but like for the main campaign. How are you liking being part artificer?
It's
Oof.
I'm glad I did it because in terms of the
Role-playing story?
yeah. I'm glad I made that call because it made things more interesting. I feel like it has furthered the in-game relationship between Kyra and Vulcan, and it's led to some interesting things. Mechanically, sorcerer and artificer don't really go together.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's possible, but you kind of have to plan it out from the start. And I didn't plan it. It just was Kyra just bamboozing, and then Crash opening up artificer. It was more of like, hey, this is kind of a happy bit of kismet. This might be interesting. Let's go down this rabbit hole. And there are advantages to having multi-class from like a melee standpoint and from like a hit point standpoint and an armor standpoint, but there's so much magic I'm missing out on.
Yeah, hard to give up those 6th level spells.
All right, it's very important that none of you ever watch Sibo's stream.
Alright. I was Sibo's biggest fan,
Just
no.
this one particular episode, right?
Well, yeah. Don't ever watch that. Don't ever watch that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll enlist it after this, after the game.
All right. So, with all of that settled, you guys, I guess, meet up at Andronikos' manor house, on that last night, on that third night. Is there anything that you guys would do on that third night? I mean, I could paint for you a very sad scene of Andronikos trying to joyously kind of show you his house, but every room holds memories of the family that he has lost. So it's very much like just hanging out with Bruce Wayne at his mansion.
Yeah, I want to see the Batcave.
Like every room he goes, every time he walks into a room, he just gets more sad as like memories replay associated with that room.
No, and now it's clown snakes.
Yeah. So he's trying his best to be a good host, but you can tell that he is haunted.
Well, I'm there for it. I don't really have any specific things though, I suppose.
You still got this 10th punch? Or
Yeah,
if you,
I think after a certain point, Sibo and Julian peace out and get the Siren's Ruse.
Oh man. All right. So when you walk into the Siren's Roost, you are greeted by Ambrosia, and she is very happy to see you guys. But you do see that there are 2 guest dancers on stage, and the crowd is rowdy AF. They thirstier than some Baldur's Gate 3 fans for these 2 dancers. You see on the stage the greatest breast in all of Thylea. Her dancing partner, one of the most talented dancers in life. He retained those skills, even in death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They recognize you guys and wave from the stage.
I know where I'm going.
What happens next is an amazing night that could be summed up by a roll on the carousel table, or we could just, leave it to our imaginations.
Oh no. Let's do some rollies.
I think we're doing rollies. I'm down for rollies.
You guys know that this table ain't safe no more.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Have fun with that.
Okay.
It's back to Mitros,
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I will need each of you to roll me a D223.
Ooh,
Because that's how carousel do.
223.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I did that right. Yeah.
Okay.
100 more than me.
All right. Let's see. I will read both and then reveal the least bad one first.
The least bad one.
Does anyone else? Does anyone else go carousing with these 2?
Orin will go, but not to carouse.
Oh, but not to carouse. Okay,
He'll be hanging
fair.
out.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, that seems fine. And then what do we got here? All right. Oh.
Oh god.
All right. So, okay. Sibo.
Oh fuck! All right.
It's a wild night, and eventually, between the alcohol, the drugs, the card punching, the massages, the sauna, the hot tubs, you wake up in the morning, nestled between you and you're nestled between Nessa and a very beautiful Minotaur woman.
Okay.
And as you kind of extract yourself from the furry pile and kind of attend to your morning things, you know, pissing in the pot, that sort of thing, you do see that there is a note on the table.
Uh-oh.
It is addressed to you.
Okay. I'm always curious. I open it.
Okay. It says, "I won't forget what you did. Thank you."
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Signed, Commander Gaius.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
What did you
Oh.
do?
I don't know.
That's
Okay.
the least bad? Oh, God.
Okay. I guess, keen mind. I don't remember anything.
That's how carousal works, bro.
I know.
Brain's gotta be recording.
You carouse so hard that you just kind of like disconnect, then reconnect later.
It's probably the first time Sibo's ever blacked out.
Yep. Yeah, it's the first time I didn't have to think about Ventus turning me up. Okay. I'll tidy that. Oh, is anybody else here besides Nessa and the Minotaur? Do I get the Minotaur's name, by the way? No.
Oh, did you get the Minotaur's name? I mean, you were
Yeah.
blacked out. No.
No.
Yeah.
See if they write it on their underwear.
Yeah.
You check their fucking tag.
What an
Okay.
what an assumption in the age of togas that they would bother wearing underwear.
I checked to see if they've been branded.
Oh my
anywhere.
goodness! Oh my goodness!
All right. I will seek out Julian if I can.
All right.
Yeah. So then, yeah.
So you go downstairs, and the person kind of managing the desk informs you that Julian of Mitros left last night, and they have not seen them since. So then the camera cuts across town
Okay.
to the Temple of Lutheria.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
He's just here for communion, you know.
So
I don't think that's what it was.
If it's Temple of Theros, it probably was.
all right.
Lutherian communion, dear Lord.
Yeah, it lines up pretty well.
So as you wake up and look around, you find yourself stark naked in the orgy section of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear that morning services are happening, and this is the more maidenly aspect of Lutheria, where they are talking about love and devotion, you know, the joys of motherhood and the rigors of childbirth. They're basically doing like baby Lamaze classes.
Julian will look around and realize this is not a place he wants to be or to be seen. He'll gather up his things and he will get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you are gathering up your things, you hear someone say, "Oh, don't forget your other sandal." And you look over and you see this completely normal priestess of Lutheria. And she says, "Everyone deals with grief in a different way. I hope you were able to find some peace last night."
If I got a piece.
Do I get the sense that I had sex with Lutheria through this priestess last night?
I mean, you carouse, so you have to kind of fill in the gaps yourself.
Okay. Do I get the sense that I'm like she waking up naked and Lutheria's still in there?
Well, she is wearing her ceremonial garb, which
Okay.
is less like dominatrix nun and more like sexy evil priestess kind of deal.
Mhm.
A lot of ephemeral silks and things like that. But she does kind of just sort of stare at you. And she does have you do see on her forehead the this third eye kind of open and look at you.
Okay. Well, Julian will say, I guess I needed this then. I suppose I didn't allow myself to know that I needed this release. But still, this doesn't look. These are not good optics. So he's going to get dressed. He's going to duck into a dark corner, and hopefully no one's looking. And he's going to cast Disguise Self on him, and knowing full well Lutheria would still be able to see through it. But the idea is to not
be seen as a famous adventurer leaving a
yes.
Oh, okay, fair
Lutherian
enough.
orgy.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
We're just gonna get around. That can't be helped. But if it's just the, those just the followers of Lutheria saying that, and nobody else can corroborate, who's to be believed?
Sure. As you are exiting, the priestess calls after you and says, "I was happy to help you get your 10th punch on the card." Go with a lighter heart, Julian of Mitros. For what you are to face next may threaten to weigh it down forever.
Julian will pause at this, kind of knowing where his head has been at with this last few days worth of research. He'll sort of nod, not looking at anything, and then exit.
Okay. All right.
You look down at the new punch card you got, and it's stained with wine.
So, you guys all meet up on the morning of the 4th day. The Druids of Mitros have completed construction of the tree garden, and there is a formal ceremony today to essentially help Maya grow this tree for all who might look upon it. The Druids feel this is a great PR opportunity for Thylea worship. I mean, obviously that's why they did it for free, but yeah. All right. So do you take part in this ceremony, Maya?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys grow a tree thick enough for a medium, thick enough for a large.
Probably just needs to be medium.
Hold on, how big is
Are you
Nessa?
sure?
She's a large, right?
Nessa's a large. Georgos.
Yeah,
is
I
large.
know, but I can get everyone who's not medium back to the boat
What's the
instantly.
drawback? What's the drawback of a large versus medium tree?
So Maya, as Sibo tells you that, you remember your training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess I guess right before the ceremony, I would and they were asking me this question if it's going to be medium or large. I would probably maybe in a couple of days after every training session I came back and talked to them. If they explained the difference between a medium and large and what that effect would be on the ship.
Yeah. So it would just mean that you would have like a very short fat tree versus like a cooler, taller.
Large it is.
Okay.
Good call.
Hey, it's a halfling tree. I love it.
It's more like them, fat, squat, water-filled
Yeah.
trees from the Lion King. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that Rafiki's jumping around in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Hold on. I got a picture of this fat ass tree that we're putting on your boat. So.
It's stout.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a fucking mushroom. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a Mario mushroom, but a
Yeah.
tree. Yeah, there we
You
go.
go. Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's thick.
Alright. So the cool mana tree model, they're just like, oh, well, utility over style. And so they put this fat bottom tree on the boat.
What they
Okay.
say about fat bottom trees?
They've got cake.
Them make the rocking world go round.
It's
yeah.
a, you know, it's an apple bottom tree. You know.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So
Sibo can make his shrine. You know, as some fur at the base of it.
Yep. There's some
At the apple bottom tree, the spruce with the furs.
The spruce with the furs, yeah.
Dang. Oh man, that was pretty good. All right. Oh man, you guys did so well. I just everybody take a point of demonstration. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Also, was I able to leave with the book from the library, or?
What was your technique for getting the book out of the library? The book would very much like to go with you.
Word of recall.
Oh, okay, yeah. The book praises you for your cleverness.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right. It's a thrill.
Perfect. Wait, so how many books?
Turning into Gollum.
How many packed books are you carrying now?
I can ask this question because you sound like Gollum, not because you're a halfling.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, W book.
Okay.
I will let Julian know about the note I found, but I will probably not let anyone else know. From Gaius.
Oh, okay.
Would Orin let us know that he met with Gaius?
Oh yeah, that's another good question. Yeah. Is there any information? This is the best thing. Is there any information any of you withhold from the rest of the party? That would probably be easier than what do you tell the party? Yeah.
The secret and the note, except for Julian for the note.
Okay.
The only thing Orin leaves out is where Yorgos and him got all the wine.
Okay.
I was like, where did all my grapes go?
Yeah.
I had to use some favors, all right.
Bet you she's like, it was for a good cause. Okay.
Just picture you having Giorgos with his big fat zombie feet
Stomping
stomping these grapes. No wonder it tasted so fucking bad.
Quickly, Giorgos. We've only got 4 or 5 hours before sunrise.
Why is there so much hair in this wine?
You're squishy between my toes, Orin. It feels funny.
It would have gone faster.
As his sores are popping. And
oh
my god.
His legs kept like falling off. So
yeah.
Oh.
I do have to say, after you guys managed to get the Minotaur slave trade removed, the city has worked hard to become a lot more cosmopolitan. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so Giorgos is obviously feared, but there were undead gladiators here for the Great Games and stuff. So the people are not so sheltered that they haven't seen like exceptional and incredible things. But certain things are still very like Steros, is such an oddity that he would still draw a tremendous amount of attention and murmured whispers and things like that. And Giorgos, obviously people know him as a famous gladiator from the Nether Seas, but they would be very frightened of him. It's not like he's being chased with pitchforks and torches, but just to kind of give you that vibe that commoners are still commoners and people are still people. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So there's still definitely fear and suspicion of the unknown and the unusual. Okay, cool. So what now? What do you guys do? You've gotten some downtime. You've got your tree on the ship. Andronicus has his house back. He's actually more sad than he was before having the house.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This sounds like progress for Andronicus.
Orin just chalks it up to the 72 hours of paperwork they had to fill out.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, all that soul-crushing paperwork just to feel horrible when you walk in the front door.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't even imagine, like, how fucking sad his character is. Like, I don't ever want to be that sad. Like, It's just heartbreaking.
I guess I would have that conversation with Bicycles and say like, hey, is there a way to create potions that imitate magical effects but aren't magical?
Yeah, he says, well, yes, there is. I was studying such things at the university, but they laughed me out. They said that such remedies had no place in the academic world of the arcane. In truth, all of such concoctions are quite weaker than their magical counterparts. But I simply pointed out that they were easier to make and could be created by those without knowledge of the arcane. That seemed to make them even more upset with me. And when I fought hard to defend my ideas, they had me cast out.
Well, would you like to continue that research here on the ship?
It would be all right. I thought the only reason that you hired me was because I knew how to make magical elixirs and potions.
Well, there might be moments where we can't use magic, and so I feel like they would be very useful to have consumables that don't depend on magic.
I have a few samples if you'd like to try them.
Sure.
You've tasted my incredible potions of climbing, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you I had a potion of climb up?
Okay. What does that do?
Well, you don't actually drink it. You rub it on your hands, knees, and boots, and it gives you advantage to climb. It's almost as good as a magical climb speed. Yeah, it ain't as good as a magical climb speed.
It's not bad though. Not bad. I mean,
Yeah, it sounds really good.
we can make some of those.
You may have heard of the oil of slipperiness.
Ooh.
It grants you freedom of movement. One of the most
Great for your
powerful benefits you could have in a world filled with monsters that auto-grapple and like to eat you. But what if I told you I had oil that is slippery?
I mean,
You rub the oil on your body, and it gives you advantage to escape from a grapple. Maya, you know that this is nowhere near as good as and you could maybe see. Well, I don't know. Maya's pretty practical. I feel like Julian, if he heard this conversation, would understand why the Arcane Academy was like, "Get the fuck out of here." But like Maya, for you, this is pretty practical. I think this is, you know,
she's like, if we can't use magic, that I mean, that's the best we can get.
Yeah, so he walks you through, and basically he can make a jank version of like any potion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Potion of invisibility, but it's really just
it's just camo paint. It's just camo.
it takes much longer to apply, but it's just as good.
What she'll say when I was talking to well, I was going through some training and we were.
He tells you that he was going to call his new school of magic practical magic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, reasonable.
And that is when they threw him out.
Yeah. It's like the people whenever it's like the big grocery stores with the almond milk. You know, they're like, you can't call it milk; it's juice, practical juice.
But practical magic was going to compete with Hocus Pocus, and they were just like, no, we can't do that.
Alchemy.
They were both pretty good. You're a woman in the '90s, and you like witches movies. They were both pretty good.
They were both pretty good.
Yeah. We both watched them many times with our wives. So
100%. Every fucking Thanksgiving, Halloween, Jesus Christ.
God damn, I've seen those movies a lot. Oh my god. Yeah, anyways, so Maya, you get the sense that his practical magic can be applied to most potions by request, and he could make a janky, non-magical version of any magical potion.
Okay.
All
right.
Even healing potion?
Yep.
So good.
They heal 1d4 plus 0.
Yep. Here's a V8.
Yep.
Okay.
Sadly, your body doesn't care if it's magic or just chemicals. It still counts towards potion toxicity.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
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 You rub weird chemicals all over your body, it still counts towards potion toxicity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you happen to have any of those that like?
I wouldn't
guess
recommend his potion. I would not recommend his potion of disguise. It's just throwing acid on your face. So.
I was gonna ask him if he has anything like what is it like this alchemist. I guess I'll ask him: is alchemist fire magical?
That's a great question.
great
I
question.
don't think it is in D&D. Because I don't think it has the word magic in it. Let me see. I'm sure there's like 15 Reddit threads about it.
It's probably like 3 or 4.
It is
Jeremy
not.
Crawford
It is
tweets.
non-magical.
Nice.
Okay.
It is non-magical. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
It is a rare. It is a rare chemical fluid that ignites when exposed to air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if we learned anything from Queef's thing, is that you can throw oil on somebody and then hit them with fire, and it does more damage.
Mm-hmm.
It is known.
It is known.
It is known.
Yeah.
I was wondering, do you think there would be so in my training we were talking about being able to be seen and maybe having a potion that can hide us. So I was thinking one way that I have a spell here called Fog Cloud that makes a very heavily obscured area.
I have it
wondering if
covered. Smoke bomb. And he throws a smoke bomb on the ground.
Okay.
It makes a fog cloud effect that's 10 feet across.
I mean, hey, I'll take that.
Okay.
Right. And then one other thing. This is just a weird idea that I came up with. I don't know if this makes any sense, but are there any like?
Yeah, it's a 5-foot radius sphere of smoke that spreads around corners and heavily obscures the area. It lasts for 1 minute. Blah blah blah. So yeah.
No, I don't know if this is just a crazy idea I thought of, but there's this spell I have. I understand how to use. It's called Fairy Fire, but it makes it look like little motes of light follows a creature. Is there like a way you can maybe find like a type of bug that's very interested into like a?
Well, he throws what looks like an egg at you. It splatters against your chest, and bioluminescent paint is there. And he says, "Glow paint."
Okay, great.
Watch out, it stains.
I'm very sorry.
Okay.
After the
No,
glowing stops, no, it stains.
Oh, do you think prestidigitation will take care of it?
No.
Unfortunately, that's a magical solution, bro. Practical magic. You need practical magic prestidigitation. It's a washcloth.
When you ask for practical magic prestidigitation, he says, "Scrub brush."
Scrub.
Okay, well, I'll keep this in mind. I'll let the rest of everybody know too that we could probably find some alternatives to magical potions through you.
Okay.
Look at sand.
He feels seen. I have one of those scrub daddies. It's really good. Yeah. That's a good ass sponge right there.
That's basically the newest product.
I use the normal one. They made like actual rectangle ones too.
No face on it. That's
and
though.
the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, honest to God, it might really be magic. I don't know.
They are good.
Unfortunately, if you made you a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, according to 5th edition rules, since it says it's magic, it would be turned off by an anti-magic zone.
Messed up.
Yeah. The worst thing you could do in 5e is actually admit something's magical.
I put anti-magic in front of anti in front of magic. Anti-magic eraser.
That would just erase the anti-magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anti-magic?
Yeah,
anti-magic. Yeah.
All right. So, any other preparations? Like, what? I guess your crew is happy to be back in Mitros, but you could tell that the longer Maya, especially with your insight, you could tell the longer. Well, and Julian, I think you understand the people a bit more than Maya. From like their they're more like sailor roots kind of deal. The longer you stay here, the more likely they are to A, get in trouble, B, decide they don't want to go out to sea again.
I think now that we have everything set up, it's Ram round 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, so the goal is to board up, and then on day 5, you will head out.
There's one more thing.
What's the last thing?
Oren's going to take the end of day 4 now. Yeah, end of day 4. Oren will take the prosthetic from Theros and we'll bring it to Hermes. Actually, I might wait till the morning whenever he's getting ready to head out, and he'll catch him before he's leaving. And we'll have it.
He has his bag filled with Cheetos and Mountain Dew.
As a proper soldier, or nods, thinking back to his days heading off to training. He's got the prosthetic like kind of boxed up, bagged up. Greets Hermes. One of the artificers aboard the Stormbreaker. They were able to fabricate something that I won't say that it will assist you in combat, as honestly, I couldn't really see any deficiencies with your body at all, and I hope that our time together has taught you that as well. But I know from experience that you probably still feel some pains as a result. So I hope that this, and Oren will hold it out to him, even if just in downtime, or if you have some time where you want to look into it, could be worth having.
Hey, he looks at your pro-offered gift, kind of makes sense of what he's looking at, and he says, "This is a very generous gift, but I have gained strength despite what happened to me, just as you did. I am enough. Such great splendor should be given to one who needs it."
Oren cracks a smile at this. Very well then. Go. And Godspeed.
And then he gives you like a "you son of a bitch" handshake, and then he gives you a Mitros salute, and then he heads out.
All right. Oren will go drop this prosthetic off with Callius. I'm sure he can find a use for it.
All right.
And then he'll head back to the ship, ready to go.
Okay. And that kind of brings us to time. That's kind of a good spot.
Yeah.
It's the end. All right. So, with all of that settled, the goal is to sail back to the Isle of Golds, journey through the islands, and once again confront the Golden Ram without the promised soul to teach him a fucking lesson. Pushing Hop around.
You can only TPK us once, maybe twice, before we come and get you.
Alright, if you decide that is not the case, that's fine too. You have time.
Time to go beat this ram up, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think you have time, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to some mountain oysters.
Yeah. All right.
Mountain oysters.
Huh?
I mean, if you want the big ones are in the desert with the lions, obviously. Yeah.
Those are our allies. Sibo, no, you can't eat there.
All right. Well, that sounds good. So, quick announcements. Tomorrow night we're gonna do some Alkenstar prep. 4 hours of Alkenstar prep, because next Monday will be the first session of Outlaws of Alkenstar Sunset Group. This is a Pathfinder 2e adventure path about steampunk cowboy crime drama. Steampunk cowboy crime drama.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you're so rad.
So the prep session tomorrow night is going to be incorporating character backstories into the campaign story. So it's gonna kind of we're gonna look at the backstories that the characters came up with for their characters, and then this adventure is written in such a way that there is um like a hook that you could choose during character creation. And if you take that hook, it kind of hooks you in a little bit, but it's not nearly as well integrated as like the Epic Pass system is in this campaign. So the idea is to kind of find ways to sort of replace NPCs in the adventure with NPCs from their backstories and blah 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 blah. So we're gonna be doing that tomorrow night. Tuesday night we got Abomination Vaults and also Cyberpunk Red. I believe the 2 new players.
Oh yeah.
One new player, 2 new characters.
1 new player, 2 new characters. All right. Wednesday night we're gonna play some Baldur's Gate 3.
15 hours.
No, for like 4 or 5 hours.
That's
So
what you said.
basically not even playing it at all.
We gotta get out of the
and-
main menu. And that's it.
What we gotta do, we gotta, you know, when we start playing, we gotta start playing and just go.
Yeah. What would you think we did for 30 hours? I mean, we only
We
took
spent-
a few.
we-
We only took a few breaks. I mean, really.
No, I mean, there's a lot of times where we were, you know, we spent, you know, going through character creation 3 times the first time, and
Oh well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
once that
just three? Just 3 times?
Listen, it was a rocky start and an early point of contention, but
Listen, I made 7 different characters when it was an early release. That's all I'm
okay.
saying. That's okay. All right.
anyways, yeah. No, I got you. I think we have what's called the rhythm now, and
Mhm.
if we're only playing for 5 hours, we're less likely to have our minds worn down at the edges and flip out about every little thing. So I think it'll be great. Thursday, Curse of Strahd Nightfall continues. Man, it was pretty crazy last session. It was some pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy stuff. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. And then Friday we're gonna do a vodcast about Baldur's Gate 3. It's probably just gonna be me and Dom freaking out for 1 hour about how cool it is. But yeah, we'll also we'll try to throw in some stuff that like could be better, stuff that might be cool to add to D&D proper. Like what
You
from
should have
what
a couple
yeah,
of your
what-
favorite spell changes, because those are the big things that I've noticed that are a lot of
my
them are
favorite
just
spell,
been so.
my favorite spell change is jump.
Yeah, jump is great. I really like long strider being until long rest, so you don't have to worry about re-upping it. All the buffing
What is
spells.
amazing is they fixed almost everything, yet somehow True Strike is still terrible.
They probably looked at it with like, there's nothing we can do. But I don't know why they even bothered to put it in. I guess we did get a.
Well,
we
they kept it in so that items could proc
yeah,
it,
yeah,
I think.
exactly.
But it's,
So they're gonna be
it's
like, look
pretty
how good it
fucking
is if it's
terrible.
a secondary effect on your boots.
Yeah. But no, some very interesting decisions were made, and I think that they're very, very smart decisions. I really think that like the whole game could benefit from just like taking a lot of the cues from their changes. Anyways, we'll talk about that on Friday. Saturday, nothing's going on, at least for me, and I don't know about anything else on the server. Friday night, I think there's also a Pathfinder game with Darby.
Yep, in the deserts.
Yeah, and then Sunday morning will be Curse of Strahd Daybreak. They went a little boat ride today. A little boat ride. That was fun, like like Jungle Cruise, like Disney's Jungle Cruise. It was like that.
I haven't watched the last
water-
30 minutes
water-
of that.
Water and tabletop characters, death.
I mean, it was a ballsy move. And then Sunday night we'll be back here. So, anyone else have any announcements? Anything they want to plug before we adjourn?
I have a tournament game that's on Sunday. I don't know if it'll conflict. I'll either be late or I'll have to leave early, but I'll figure that out. I'll know that during the week, but that's the only thing. And it's only once. It's not going to happen another Sunday.
Because
Tournament
you're an
game.
esports athlete now.
Because I'm an esports athlete now, and you're top 15%.
Moved it
You
up.
know
Nice,
Right
that.
up.
nice. Top
So,
15% of Valorian, top 2% OnlyFans. Yeah, I
yep,
got you. I
OnlyFans.
got you.
Yep.
When you're out there hitting no scopes and crazy 360,
Yep,
just
no
remember
scope.
your roots.
Yep, 360 no scopes.
Check your corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, check the
Still
coders.
mollywopping.
Yep, that's what we call knifing people. Is mollywopping. So
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I guess I'll hashtag not sponsored. The Ninja Turtles movie is legit. It is like to
yeah.
It is like to Ninja Turtles what Spider-Verse is to Spider-Man.
Nice. No, I definitely want to see it. So that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good
Yeah.
recommendation then. Yep.
All of the other 35 and up men wearing Ninja Turtle shirts in the theater, we all cried and held each other's hands.
I
It was
will
fucking
not be taking my Ninja Turtle shirt now. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
yeah.
You can just wear it inside out.
Yeah,
It was
inside out.
yeah. When I started crying within 3 minutes, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh?" Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah. It was good. It was good shit. Also Jackie Chan is Splinter.
Oh, nice.
What? Yeah.
Nice.
It
That's
was
pretty
It's really
cool.
good.
yeah. It was.
Who does Raphael's voice? That's what I have to know, because if they make him a whiny bitch again, I'm out.
Oh no. It's the in like the last 20 years, Raphael has been like the biggest turtle and the
Yeah.
beefy bruiser. Yeah, he's the beefy bruiser again. He's the
But
beefy bruiser.
but is he emo? Like, it's the only thing I cared about. He's such a
No,
okay. Thank
no.
fucking God. Oh my
All
God.
these are honestly the most childlike
Okay.
turtles ever. They're
Okay.
actually voice acted by children.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then they're all like so lovable. Like
Aw. Okay.
everything they say will make you cry. If anime like about kids trying their best and facing horrible adversity as child soldiers makes you cry.
Oh yeah.
Ninja Turtles is gonna make you cry.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, dude. Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's
Okay.
so good.
I'm
Yeah.
checking it out now.
All right, cool. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks for the game, and
Night.
thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks again, Scottrick, for your patronage.
Yes. All right. Good night, yo.